the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Time warp, baby.
Another. That's what you should change the show to. Time warp with Sarge and 30. Like
time warp, man.
It goes by. Water's starting to catch on. Water's like, it's Thursday already. Like it's constantly just Thursday. It feels like Thursdays every day. On today's show, Sarge, we have lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the fastest internet. Someone came up with and downloaded the entire Netflix. And don't look it up, chat. Don't look it up. Put it in chat right now. How fast do you think they downloaded all of Netflix, right? Put it out there. Okay, all of Netflix. We're also going to talk about Splitgate. We're going to talk about a game that's on the PlayStation Store that's fake. Okay, which is a little strange, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We're also going to talk about Firebreaker, FBC Firebreaker, which is a new co-op game made by Remedy Studios. It's not doing so well, but other people are saying it's doing fantastic. It's one of these things, again, Sarge, here's to the chuds type of thing. But there's no like drama around the game. Like the game is just a game, but it just doesn't have people playing it on Steam. Like nobody's playing it on Steam, but they just hit 1 million people. So we'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about Slow Clap, which is the rematch. Guys did the soccer game. I played that on Monday on stream. And there's a couple of stuff going on with the big features. The guy so you don't need a free-to-play game to be competitive. A competitive game to be free-to-play and still be successful or whatnot. And I think they just passed 3 million players over there. We have Battlefield 6 campaign clip leaks online showcasing a mission. So we have that. We have Mind's Eye developer Build a Rocket Boy begins layoffs because their game is so successful, Sarge. Their game is so successful that they're also laying off people. Okay. Then we also have Star Wars Battlefront 2 smashes its all-time peak record 8 years after it came out. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about Microsoft adds Steam games to its Xbox PC app. We're going to talk about Dune Awakening. They changed the end game. It's only been out for 2.5 weeks. They changed out they're changing out that. We're going to talk about Mind's Eye. Well, since we're actually talking about Mind's Eye over there, we're talking about Mind's Eye. The actor came out and said, he doesn't understand why they release games like this that are unfinished.
Really?
Yep.
He doesn't understand?
He doesn't understand. We're talking about the MetaQuest. Xbox has the new MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition. We're going to talk about Chrono Odyssey. We're going to talk about Jurassic World's Evolution. We're going to talk about, what is this one? Brand new co-op game on Steam that's blowing up the charts. And then we're going to talk about Hytale, which is a game that's been out, well, not out. It's been worked on for 7 years, but now it got closed down as well. So that and many other things on Generation X Gaming, episode 446. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is listened to. We have multiple shows. We have Chatting With, which last night I interviewed the Real Fake Wizard. So check that out. That's over. That'll be over on, well, you past broadcast here, but you can also, that'll be up this weekend over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and all those places. So make sure you check that out as well. And we also do live streams in the mornings here, 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday. And this is the finale of the week for me because I do it Monday through Thursday and I'm off on the weekends. So yeah, that's it. All right, Sarge, what have you been up to for the last week? Anything exciting?
I got to be honest, not much this week. No, I haven't played a lot of games even this week. The only thing I did do is on last Sunday I played with Travis. We started a fresh game of Baldur's Gate 3. So we're going
Ooh.
through that. We're going through that. So
Yeah, he asked me if I wanted to play. I was like,
we're continuing on Sundays. So we're gonna do it on Sundays. Outside of that, and I've been looking at Steam for a while. I'm trying to find some stuff. There's a summer sale going on, and so like I'm weighing out whether or not I will actually play the game for $5, even though it's good, or it'll just
buy and put it in your back
or
catalog.
it'll just sit in the library and I'll never touch it.
Yeah.
I just gave someone $5. I'm basically trying to figure out what I would actually play, and I hate when the summer sale comes and I'm not ready for it. Because like if I come home late and I can't sleep and I start scrolling on Steam, I'm like, oh, here we go, the summer sale started, and like it's the amount of stuff that's on Steam, bro. And let me tell you something. I just put in strategy games. That's the category I pick. I don't pick anything else. An hour and a half, I'm still not done with it. That's how many games there are.
Well, that's what happens with anything now with the streaming service. Like, hey, let's watch a movie, and you're scrolling for like 25, 30 minutes.
An hour and a half. They're not even in alphabetical order. They're just throwing. It's like people just throwing shit in the closet. Like it's just, like, what are we doing? How about alphabetical order on something?
They put it in your interest, don't they? Doesn't Steam?
My interest? I don't click on nothing, bro. I don't click on wish lists. I click on nothing.
I don't. You don't have to click on wish list. It sees what games you're clicking on to see more information about, and then it's like, oh, you like these war games, or here's more things about.
Oh no, games. I don't click. If the picture looks cool, I don't click on it every time I scroll. I'm a scroll. I scroll past that shit. I mean, the same ones I've been playing every week. Because of the Dune infestation that you got going on. I'm still playing Dune Spice Wars. Fucking hard, dude. It's a fucking hard game. And I'm still playing Dawn of War 2 online against people. Just some fun shit to do, not much else. I mean, on Xbox, like I want to play some things. I can't get myself to sit down and want to play them. Right?
Like
I
what?
saw
anything?
Like I saw Final Fantasy 16 and I'm like and like,
yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I'm not using boredom as the catalyst to pick a game at random to fill the void. Like I got enough games around me to fill the void. Like it doesn't really interest me. I thought about downloading XCOM again because
it's a good game.
It's a good series.
Yeah, it's a good game.
That summer sale is killing me, bro. Like I was looking at it right before we started the show, and it's in the background right now. As a matter of fact, if anyone starts zoning out, I'm going to just scroll back and look at that list. I'm like, what?
If Sarge starts to zone out and doesn't answer questions, that's what he's doing.
I'm looking at the Steam list, man. That's it.
Is there a summer sale right now? Is that the summer sale started?
Yeah, dude. There's so much shit, dude. By the way, I want to know what I bought you, and you still have it on the list. I bought you the Dawn of War series, right?
Yeah, I
want to make sure.
I can't open it right now. I got too many tabs and shit open.
So there's a placeholder on the it says Dawn of War Definitive Edition. That's the one where they remake it, everything together, graphics enhanced, and there's no price yet. And I'm like, you fuckers. You don't even want to guess on a price, huh? You don't even want to put it in there, do you? Like, what do you think we're going to pay for a 15-year-old game with all the addeds and just new graphics?
$30.
What do you think we're going to pay for it? Like, I look at it all the time thinking about, like, what would I pay for that? Then I'm thinking, still too much. Okay, I already played it already.
Yeah.
Is new graphics going to get me to want to spend an additional $45?
Well,
what am I, retarded?
I just saw that, last week we talked about it. I think it's out now today, or it comes out this week or whatever. The Warcraft, the old Warcraft games, it's free on Game Pass PC.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I haven't played that in 22 years. I was like, maybe I should go back and play that.
There are so many games that have passed me by that I never got a chance to play because life and time. That when you scroll through things and you see it 90% off, and you're like, I've always wanted to play that. Click, like you'll make time for something that you actually want to play because there's too many. It looks like this. I think it's just too much. Water, I can't get it. I already told you if I download Space Marine 2 and put it in my library before he gets his computer, I'm gonna come home drunk one night. I'm gonna start playing it.
He's gonna play it.
Like I can't buy it. I gotta wait till he gets his computer there's a sale, and then we both get it.
Yeah. That'll happen.
That's how it has to work. Otherwise, I'll be too far ahead, and we'll start playing, and he'll go, "What do you do for this?" And I'll go, "You do this. You want this?"
He's gonna do that anyway. Right? Let's be honest, Water. Like we're gonna play Space Marines when we do get it. We're gonna play it. We're gonna play on stream.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that night, he'll be completing the game.
No,
completed.
I won't.
He'll level up 4 characters, and then I'll come back next week and I'll be like, "All right, playing again." He's like, "You need to go through this door." I'm like, "How do you know?" Nothing. I just nothing. He already completed the game. Yeah.
I envision myself playing the medic character. I'm gonna play the medic character, and if there's no medic character, I'm gonna play a chaplain. I know what I'm gonna play.
He'll play every character. He's gonna play every character.
I already told you guys. If people in chat have one of those games like Dark Tide or one of those games to play, we'll play on stream. We'll play something.
Sarge is always been a person. Every time we played a MMO, I played World of Warcraft first, right? Most of the times, I usually play the games first, and then you have to download this game, and then he goes in, so I was like level 30 in World of Warcraft. He started a character, got it up to my level, surpassed me, maxed it out, started another character because he said, "I'll only play this character when I'm on playing with you." And then he took that character and surpassed me, and he had like 3 fucking characters at max the day. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night." That's how he's been our entire life. He always blows past. He's like, "Oh, is the game good?" I didn't play. I only played one day. Yeah. You stood up for 20 hours, but you played for one day.
Right. I only played for one day, but I didn't sleep. Yeah.
He's always been like that. So every time, I'm very surprised. Some of the games that we play, he's like, "Yeah, no, I've played." Like Halo, we played Halo. He played off stream. And kept playing. He almost completed the whole story, and then he was like, he pretends that he doesn't play it. Okay, and he thinks I don't know, but I know because of the way he acts when we play the game. I'm not dumb. All right, so anything else you've been playing?
No, that's about it.
So I went from Dune Awakening.
It's been a busy week.
Right, so I went from Dune Awakening. Okay, we didn't even do the title screen for the games, but whatever. I was playing Dune Awakening last week. After we got off stream, I got my Ornithopter. Okay, started playing a little bit. And then I was like, it was funny because in Discord, Altern's like, "Do you do anything else? Like, have you touched grass? Like, you're only playing Dune Awakening." I was like, "Yeah, I got my Ornithopter. I'm excited. I got it, I think, on Friday night." Okay. So I haven't played it on stream since then, but I also haven't really played it. I logged in earlier today to play, or last night to play a little bit. But for the most part, I stopped playing Dune Awakening for the last week since we last had the last show. I played on Friday last week. And I did go touch grass. I touched grass because last weekend all I played was Rematch, which was a soccer game, which is virtual grass, but I still touched grass. And I was having a blast. I got up to like level 14 before we played on Monday night. It's a fun soccer game. It's the problems with it right now is the netcode issues. So like you'll be slide tackling somebody, and all of a sudden it looks like you're hitting the ball, but then nothing happens, or you're the goalie you take a shot on goal and it looks like it's going into the net, and then all of a sudden the goalkeeper comes out of nowhere and then captures it, and you're like, "Oh, that was in the goal." So there's like a little netcode issues. Once they fix that, once they put the co-op, crossplay in the game, I think it'll be even better. But right now there's a very small gap between everyone. There's a couple people that understand, right? You hold RB and A, and you can do like these trick moves. If you hold LB and A, you do other trick moves and flip it over someone's head and do all these things. But that is going to get dramatically differential, right? So in the next 2 weeks, it's going to go like this. The player gap is going to skyrocket, and these people that come in and play that game are going to be like, "Oh, this is a fun game." But then they're going up against somebody that can run around the field and you can't stop them, and you're going to be like, "It's good, I'm done," right? But it's funny to me that people are like, "Oh, it's like Rocket League." And meanwhile, Rocket League is literally soccer, but now they made a soccer game like Rocket League, and now they're like, "Oh, it's like Rocket League." And I'm like, no, Rocket League is soccer, and now soccer is now coming back from the Rocket League template, which is like this arena. You can do 3v3, 4v4, or 5v5. You have to hit level, I think, 5 to get into rank matches. I haven't done a rank match yet. Playing 5-on-5 is completely different than playing 3-on-3. 3-on-3 is very fast-paced. 2v2 in the middle, 2 goalies. They do a rotation, so every time you score, you swap goalies and stuff like that. You could go back as goalie, but they put everyone as a goalie at least one time during the game or so, right? Unless you're really good. And then you
Why?
don't
Because
swap.
nobody wants to be a goalie.
That's exactly why I think they do it. Nobody wants to be the goalie, right?
That
No one wants to be a medic. No one wants to be a goalie. Everyone wants to be
That
the
sounds familiar.
playmaker. They want to be that. They want to be that superstar, right? So the 4v4 it was a nice little balance, and 5v5 is a little boring per se, like because it's
Why?
an arena. It just feels off. It feels like because it's 4v4.
Isn't it just more passing? People just set up in areas and more passing.
Yeah, it's much more crowded, slower. You're not going to do a lot of breakaways and stuff like you have with the 3v3. So it's just a little bit slower. Not bad. It's definitely going to be cool for like tournaments and stuff like that if they do like esports. I think that would be the one to do, the 5v5. But overall, really nice little fun game. $30, $30 game. Or it's on Game Pass. That's where I'm playing it. But it's a nice game. I think I recommend it if you want to play a good soccer game. It kind of reminds me of it's like soccer meets like it's like remember NFL Blitz or NBA Jam, right? That's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of a sort of
And NBA Jam was the
soccer version of that.
And NBA Jam was the shit, especially when it finally came to Super Nintendo and you could play the arcade game in your house.
Oh,
that was the shit, bro.
Put
We
the
had
big head
tournaments.
code in.
Put the big head code in. That was we had
He's
so many
on
tournaments.
fire.
We had so many tournaments at the house. Incredible.
Yeah, I guess it's like FIFA Street a little bit. It's done well. It's done well. We have a story about it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Other than that, I played a little bit of Marvel Rivals as well. Marvel Rivals is now kicking in to each season coming up is going to be 1 month. Okay, 1 month, and they're going to put a new character in every month for the next 6 months. Next one up, it leaked. It's going to be Jean Grey or the Phoenix. She's the next character up, and then I think it's Blade, and then I think it's Professor Xavier, whatever. But so they went from 3 months, one season, to now 1 month every season. There's going to be a season every month. They're shrinking the seasons.
Month.
Yeah, they're shrinking the seasons and putting new characters in every single month, starting in July. So that's what's happening with Marvel Rivals. And I'm still enjoying it. It's that game, but like you said earlier, you're looking for a game to like you don't know what to play. That's my game. I'm like, what do I want to play? I pop that on, do my dailies, do my weeklies, whatever, finish it, and then go back to playing Dune Awakening or go back to something else. I got to go back to Roadcraft. I really want to finish the maps. There's a new map already came in for the game. So I want to go back and finish the maps that I have. I have three maps left.
you play Roadcraft like I play the other games. Like you start going off on your own, finishing the map, and I'm like, I thought you wanted help. I got it. I got it.
I don't have that much time.
Like
to
the
play,
guy
so...
like the guy hold on to the mattress. I got it.
I got it. Yeah.
I got it.
So I want to go back and play more Roadcraft because they're already putting new vehicles in. They're already putting new maps in. So that's what I like about that thing, though. So
that's a very chill game.
Absolutely.
It's a very chill game.
I'm in a clusterfuck right now because I went to play it the other day, and I had to build a bridge. And to build a bridge, I had to get wood. So I grabbed the wood and put it, and I packed it. I have like 12 or 20 logs in the back of my truck. Okay. Well, as I'm driving, I was like, oh, I can't go across there. So I went across a little area and I tipped. So now I'm tipped over. All my logs are in the thing. And I don't want to reset because I don't want to pick them all up again. So then I brought my big ass crane over and I started like lifting it up. But where the points where it attaches to the trailer, it like takes it and like flips it upside down. So that when I'm trying to put it, the wood's hanging upside down and I'm trying to drop it, but it won't turn over. So I'm getting tricky with it, right? So I'm bringing it in. I try to drop it on top of the front of my truck so it hits and then like rolls or a hill. And I'm like, this is not working. So I need someone else's help to like try to pull it and
I don't want to be involved in that kind of clusterfuck. I want to be involved in like put some sand down, move some stuff around.
Why don't
you disconnect the strap so it doesn't catch on when you're trying to pick stuff up? How is it? If you reset if you get rid of the straps and reset your car, the stuff stays there. Why would you want the truck to stay there?
No. I don't. If I release the thing, the wood's going everywhere.
That's fine. Then just go and get your truck and pick it up.
No, I don't want to sit there for 45 minutes again lifting up the pieces of wood again.
You're going to be sitting there for 45 minutes one way or the other.
No,
At least the truck's out of the way so you can pick up the wood. By the way, why don't you just put the stuff inside the base and then open up a base that's closer by and then get them from there? Why do you keep trying to take 14 logs through the Amazon?
No, I'm not. I literally chopped trees down by the actual thing. Okay. But when I was trying to get over where I had to go, the ground was unstable and it flipped the goddamn car.
Because you didn't have any sand. See, you keep trying to put the car before the horse.
I couldn't get sand because where I'm in between the two sand points, right? So this is why I needed to build a bridge.
Nope, need a guy to bring some sand.
You know what? I know a guy for sand, so I'll call him up.
Yeah,
which he's going to help me flip my truck over. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to help me with my.
There was a lot of updates for a lot of games recently.
Well, yeah. There's always updates. That's the whole video game.
Okay, so I'll rephrase. There were a lot of updates on games I actually cared about.
Yeah, every time I turn on my Xbox, there's 25 updates for games.
Well, Dark Tide had an update. Do you know what the update was?
No,
do you have the bullet points? Hell Let Loose has an update.
What's the update for Hell Let Loose?
You want to hear this one?
Yeah.
All right. So I missed out in springtime because I wasn't playing it.
Yeah.
But they released another map, Tobruk. It's another African map, right? And so they said they were redoing the map. They were like making it a little bit more dirty, more buildings blown up because it was too clean. It was like you just threw it. It looks like somebody had spent time on the weekend, drank some Starbucks coffee,
cleaning up the streets of
Africa. made a desert
Yeah.
town and just threw it in the desert. There's no destruction. There's no stuff in the streets. So they're trying to like make it a little bit more.
Battlefield 2042 did. I got you.
Yeah. So the main issue was medic, right? So they changed the medic class. So now the medic class, when you revive somebody, they have full health. So you don't have to revive them and then bandage them.
Gotcha.
So it's like Battlefield 42, just a little bit longer. Like you pick them up and then they have full health. That's number one. Number two, they gave the fucking medic more ammo. Thank fucking God. Because when you played a medic and Hell Let Loose, you had like 2 clips or 3 clips. And like, so people, and this is their logic. The logic was you give the medic less bullets, so he'll actually be a medic.
Okay.
Right? That's the logic. So now they were like, that's not working out.
Right, because no one wants to be a fucking medic.
Right, no one wants to be a medic, right? So now they give you enough clips like a standard soldier would, and they also give you, I think it's like 4 or 5 grenades now for smoke grenades instead of 2 or 3, right? And like that's absurd.
Well, of course,
right?
now everyone's just throwing fucking smoke grenades everywhere.
Right. 5 smoke grenades is lunacy, bro. You can basically halt an attack or start a war yourself with 5 smoke grenades. Like so now, and this is the way my brain works. I'm like, well, I gotta try the medic now. So now I'm gonna stop playing something else and start playing Hell Let Loose again because I want to play. But now I'm rusty because I haven't been playing in a while. Then my brain goes, well, why don't you just get it for PC? And then I say to myself, well, the guys I already know are on console and it's not crossplay. And if I go on PC, then I got to start all over again looking for people. And I'm like, I got to get it for console. Then I have to start practicing again. I got to redo the adjustments. I got to, because I play with all. Because
Can you play mouse and keyboard? Can you play mouse and keyboard on the Xbox?
I've been trying to find the way to play Hell Let Loose with mouse and keyboard.
I think you can just plug it in. I think you just take the USB keyboard and plug it in.
No, it's not functional yet.
Someone on chat will look it up for you.
Yeah, it's not functional yet.
Real quick, Ray says 30 Sarge, Saber SnowRunners versus Kojima's FedEx. What is better? I mean, I don't like Death Stranding.
Hands down, dude.
Yeah, I don't like Death Stranding.
Like,
SnowRunners to me is a fantastic game.
I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't understand the popularity of Kojima's Death Stranding game. I don't understand. I understand it's artsy. I'm going to give you that. I get maybe a little bit level of bougie is involved to like that level of artistic stuff. But at the same time, out of all the games I've played, just because it looks like a movie and you're walking around and existing in that universe, I understand, but I don't understand what the fun factor is for that. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
what am I doing?
I watched a bunch of people play when the Death Stranding 1 came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's an amazing game." And I'm looking at it going, yeah, "Okay." I mean, the story's probably amazing.
Like, what are you picking? I want to know this. What are you picking when you play that game? What are you picking is amazing? What's amazing? What's
I
the
don't,
amazing
I don't
part?
know personally. I mean, it's got to be the story, right? I would assume it's the story.
Right? Kojima. Here's how I feel about Kojima. A very talented guy. However, in the gaming sphere, he reminds me of when a new cologne comes out,
Mm.
and it's $600 a bottle, and everyone says to you, "It's $600 a bottle, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the best,
It's
right? It's
amazing
the
shit
best.
ever."
Yeah.
And then I wait 3 years, and it's in the discount bin at Walmart for $2.99. It's the
Yeah.
same cologne. Like I don't understand what is the draw on this fucking game, right? If I want to be depressed about humanity and understanding the story of humanity's fall, I just turn on the news. Like I want to play a video game to be somewhere else. This game is
Well,
I don't get it. I don't get
here's
it.
the thing, right? I'll turn saying, what? Don't you have fun delivering packages from one place to another? I do. That's what you do in SnowRunners. You take a supply or roadcraft and you move it from one place to another. There is no story. The story is I'm building shit or I'm building a road or I'm moving stuff, right? I'm okay with that part, right? He says, don't you like working for FedEx? No one does. Okay. I just don't understand. Everyone looks at the baby and the thing and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's the greatest thing. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm sure it's good. I'm not giving shit to the game. I just don't understand the popularity because I've watched. I didn't watch like 5 minutes of it. I've watched 20, 35 hours worth of the game when Coke Carnage was playing it the last time when the first one came out, and I was just like, I don't get it. Is it one of those things I have to play and I have to have the controller in my hand and go, oh, I get it. Like because when I watch it, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm too stupid to understand the Kojima, right? Jeff Keighley loves him. So, I mean, Jeff Keighley would, So, Chief says, FedEx driver for 20 years. Are you playing Death Stranding?
Are you playing Death Stranding, Chief?
Yeah. Do you love it?
No, we're being serious. Have you played it? Is it fun for you?
Like I have no interest in it. It's not because I don't have.
I mean, I think that Death Stranding is like the video game from Last Starfighter. I think if you do really well in it, FedEx calls you and offers you a job.
Offers you a job.
Yeah,
we have your resume here.
Right. We see what you could do.
We
about
saw what
delivery.
you would do and what lengths you would go to deliver this package. We want to give you a job.
Yeah, but you don't just get it for completing the game. It's like a very specific set of circumstances that happens during the game, and FedEx calls you. You want a job?
Yeah. All of a sudden, the screen changes.
Full bennies.
Like in Split Fiction, when the guys completed the game, all of a sudden he came on the screen and was like, hey, you guys completed the game. Like a FedEx employee. He says, you have done the one single thing that no one else has done in the world. Kojima on screen himself says, and he bows and he offers you a job and says, FedEx would like to offer you an expense paid trip to their corporate office to offer you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work for FedEx.
85 a year plus full bennies. You're like, I don't understand what happened, but I just bought Death Stranding.
Maybe. That would be amazing, right? All of a sudden, someone knocks on your door.
If you don't
just completed the game,
listen,
you get to this one thing. All of a sudden, they knock on the door and he answers the door. Guy in a suit.
Listen to me very carefully. If you don't think that the manipulation of people inside video games is not going to lead to the fact of people getting jobs, you're mistaken. I can guarantee you, since generation whatever doesn't want to deal with anything, the video games that they sell you are probably inside different categories of actual employment. And when you do well in there, I guarantee you'll get emails from companies that want you to sign up for their job. I guarantee it, bro. I guarantee it. The analytical people start getting emails for getting like bookkeeper jobs, whatever else. And like, you don't even know you're doing it. You don't even know that every game you're playing is basically an interview and they want to see if you can actually do the work. Guaranteed.
Salty says, I played the first one. I have the second one. It's fucked up story-wise, but it's struggle with your journeys. And also you get better and better over time. Decimal Engine makes it look gorgeous as you're crossing rivers and mountains, etc.
Battlefront 2 is fucking 10-year-old game. It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love running around Star Wars world. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just it doesn't appeal to me, and that's okay because not every game needs to appeal to everybody. I'm not saying that Death Stranding sucks in any way, shape, or form because obviously it's a good game. I like Sarge. It just doesn't capture me.
I don't see the hype. I don't see the hype.
Yeah. Water says COD players will be the first to get drafted in World War III. If you're a drone pilot,
not really,
100%.
Drone pilots, yeah, but that's not running straight at people and doing a dive move and shooting someone in the head is not
teabagging them. You're like, you're the
yeah,
best
it's not
teabagger.
it's not a military move. That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's how there's actually. This is why the skins have actually come into Call of Duty. Water. They try to see who buys all of the shitty ass skins, and then they don't get those people. They only get the people that actually want to be normal military guys playing a military game.
Right.
They're like, don't hire that asshole. He's Beavis and Butthead now. That one's playing a sloth. We don't want him.
Wait. Beavis and Butthead are in Call of Duty now?
Oh, yeah. Beavis and Butthead are in Call of Duty.
Stop.
Nope.
Stop it, dude.
Best part is, Sarge, it's first person, so you don't even see your own character.
But you're going to hear when you're running around, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you hear?
Fire. Are you being serious? I don't. Yeah, they're in the game. They're in the game.
No, they're not in the game.
They are in the game. They're in the game.
You're doing that for fun, for the stream. They're not in the game.
They are in the game.
It's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous.
No, I think they have their own like battle pass thing, whatever they have to do.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob, Seth Rogen. Yeah, all of them. If you buy any of those things, they're like, nah, we don't want any of those guys.
That's fucking ridiculous. I got
Ray says they'll actually will recruit every gamer with anger issues. That will send them to the front lines.
So does Beavis and Butthead have a giant head? Do they have big heads?
Yeah, they look like Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Here, look, I'll bring it up. Let me
I can't believe we've gotten down to this, bro.
Yeah, they have Beavis and Butthead. It was a couple days ago.
Fucking Beavis.
We did the story on stream.
Call of Duty.
The hell is it? Oh, right here. There it is. Yeah. So.
I mean, they have to be the first ones to die. I mean, your teammates are going to shoot them, right? Because you can't stand listening to them for more than 10 seconds.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, if I hear, I'm going to shoot at them immediately. Like, I'm not going to listen to that shit. And I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead, and I can't stand them.
It's not showing up on my thing here. Black Ops. There it is. All right. Yeah. See? Beavis and Butthead. Black Ops 6 adding Beavis and Butthead operators. There you go. There it is.
Yeah, but that's just the drawing. Is that what they look like?
That's what they look like.
They look like animated characters. It's not like a real dude looks like a Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, it's Fortnite for adults.
Oh my god, dude.
Yep. There it is.
It's a giant clusterfuck, bro.
Yeah. I just love it. The fact that people that play Call of Duty are like, I don't fucking play Fortnite. Fortnite's for children. they're running around. They're running around Call of Duty, shooting at Nicki Minaj, a sloth, Jay and Silent Bob, Seth Rogen, right? And now Beavis and Butthead. Oh, Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong are in there as well.
Wait, well, do they have the guy from King of the Hill? Because he needs to kill Beavis and Butthead. Like,
oh, I'm sure they're going to have him in certain over time. I would assume.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like, I don't fucking play your children's games. Dad, you're playing Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, but those are cool. You know, like that's it, right? That's it. So there it goes. We got Beavis and Butthead coming in. All right, let's go to the top stories.
There's so much shit going on right now, bro. I'm afraid if you just start talking, there's just so much shit going on.
Well, I want to start off with this internet. We have this internet where it's super powered internet, Sarge. All right, I asked you earlier, chat, how fast do you think they downloaded all of Netflix? Okay, all of Netflix was downloaded in 1 second. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So downloaded all of Netflix in 1 second. Record breaker, new data connection that can actually do it. Okay. So obviously this is just one thing. It's a fiber optic cable. Okay. It says Netflix lets you download TV shows and movies to play while you're offline, but there's also limits in place. 100 active downloads per device. The app only lets you grab a specific number of episodes or movies and expires after a while. Also, the smartphone, tablet, and laptop also using it comes in a limited storage, and even with Netflix limits, you can't use the entire disk capacity for movie downloads. But say you have a friend who wants to download the entire Netflix catalog and the storage isn't an issue. How long would it take? Well, a crazy new invention, an internet data speed transfer, out of Japan gives us a mind-bending answer of 1 second. That's how it would also take to download the entire Netflix over the new record-breaking connection, which reached 1.02 petabytes per second over nearly 2,000 kilometers, which is 1,100 miles of optic fiber. Okay, so according to the ILF or IFL Science, Netflix had about 18,000 titles as of mid-December in 2023, assuming that the title needs 7 gigabytes of storage. You'll need 123 terabytes of data for the entire Netflix catalog. So there you go. They can download 1.02 petabytes per second through 1,100 miles.
What did I discuss
in 1 second?
What did we discuss?
We discussed that in the future, online gaming is going to be it, and cloud gaming and stuff like that, because these are just tests. This is like
No, I get it.
the one data point, but at the same time, they've been doing this now for a couple of years because they have a chart down here. Okay, the first person to try it, they had a 4-core fiber. Okay, and it did 0.319 data of petabytes. Okay, so 1/3 of a petabyte per second. Then they did one with a uncoupled 4-core fiber in October of 2023. Okay, and that did 0.138, which is worse. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's better. The world record the previous record was 1.71, previous world record. Then in March of 2023, they had one that did in 2.73 seconds. Okay, and then the March one over here. So it's actually, I don't know why they have them in this order, because this should be here, this should be there, and October should be here. But anyway, so 1.7. So the fastest one to that point was, 0.138, which is 1.71, the fastest. Now, this is the world record at 1.86 world record with a 1.02 data rate of petabytes per second. So, and that's with a new coupled 19-core fiber optic cable, right? So it went from 4 to 4 to 15 to 19, and now the last 19 to this 19. So they're just getting
every time we talk about stuff like this, I see cyberpunk as real. Like that's where we're going, because we're not smart enough to make it like the cool future where everyone doesn't go hungry. Like it has to be just crazy tech, and still we're animals with cell phones and guns. Like cyberpunk to me is the most realistic future portrayal of technology and society moving forward, because no one gives a shit. Like that to me is the most realistic one.
Yeah, well, what was the thing that they could download the entire internet, and it was ridiculous speed as well, right? It wasn't 1 second, but it was.
The point being is this is not going to be for everybody right away, but the point being is that we're going to get to the point where you no longer need to have software in your house. You just stream it.
Correct. Everything's
your
just
programs, you stream it, and you're just paying for streaming. That's
correct.
Basically
and then
what
people will be
is.
like, "Well, now I have a tumor because you have 1,000 things coming into your house at times at high super speeds."
Your roof has to be specially made so it keeps out certain signals. Otherwise, you get brain tumors in like 6 months. But your data speed's incredible. I'm playing 0 latency.
Yeah.
Right, but the world champion's got a giant tumor on his head. Looks like the guy from Total Recall.
But that would be normal. That would be normal because everyone would have them.
Everyone would have the tumor.
Yeah.
Right?
It'd be like a rite of passage, right? Be like, how big's your tumor? That's how we know how
your speed goes.
You're a good game, right? You're a good gamer or something like that. It'd be like, man, your tumor. You play a lot of games. All right. The next thing I want to talk about, Sarge. I gotta.
Can't we just say how amazing that is, though? Like, that's incredible.
It's fucking amazing, yeah.
Right? To download Netflix, everything Netflix has in a second. It's insane, dude.
Yeah, the whole entire library. Then you have to go through and find out what movie you want to watch. Right? That's the big problem. Right?
Right.
1 second to download the entire thing. It takes you another 20 days to try to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
Windows says 30. But wait, 30. Remember, Game Pass and streaming your games anywhere won't happen at work ever. It's not the future. That's right. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I was told that everyone's internet is not fast enough to do it, even though the major markets where internet is. They don't need the whole entire United States to have fast internet. They just need places like LA and New York and like Chicago and like major hubs of actually where millions of people are in that one section.
Well, listen to me for a second. I'm not like super savvy on all internet specs and tech, but fiber optic is light, right? Fiber optic is light. It's pulses of light, which is still zeros and ones, right? So if that's the case with an actual hard line, then how it would be so different, and I know it sounds a little dangerous, but it's the same thing. How is that any different than having satellites in the sky and a laser shooting down into your house? Laser's light, and it's data. So why is it? I see. This is the argument I have. Like,
one is more direct, though. Like if you put the fiber optic cables underground, it's faster than if it gets erupted by something else. Interrupted.
Understandable, but a laser's still a laser. Laser's just light. Okay, so data can be shot anywhere, right? As long as you have a receptacle. So instead of lines from like the power plant going, there's a laser that shoots a tower.
Yeah, well, that's what
divides for that community type of thing. It'd still be the same kind of data transfer. It's the same shit.
But that's what Elon Musk's thing. What the
Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink.
But my point is when these telecommunication companies tell you like, well, just too much stuff going on, the signals get all crossed up, we just can't, everyone calls at the same time, and you're trying to explain to me that the signals in the sky that you don't see, that are everywhere, by the way, every fucking where. If you could see the signals, you'd probably have to go to therapy. You would lose your mind from all the signals that are shooting across the sky.
Yeah.
Right. But you're telling me that they can't do it. Meanwhile, we got lasers and fiber optic and all kinds of data. No. Like, come on, man.
They say they can't do it because they don't want to admit they can do it. You ever see
I'm aware.
You ever see the people that make like cars run on water?
Yeah.
And then
every
the
time
person
they
dies
die
right shortly after, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I just don't know what happened. It's because they can't monetize the thing. So they don't want to admit to you that Starlink is the best thing out there. They're like, no.
Right.
The most thing is where we have to dig a hole 20,000 miles underneath
put a line
the
in
road.
The water. Yeah.
We got to get guys to put it, and that's what it is. And by the time they're done with that, they're like, oh, we're changing it to the next fiber optic cable where they're going bigger.
But
you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying, Krebsy. Like, I'm not saying they're wrong, but when I use deductive reasoning. So if you're telling me this, and you've been saying this for a while, and then all of a sudden you start saying this, and it contradicts this, but you said this so long ago, I'm supposed to forget you said it. I didn't forget you said it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Remember now, when the internet first started, everyone was like, "Oh, it's amazing, but there's too many people in the area, so I can't get on. It's too busy." Meanwhile, think of it now. Not everybody in the house has a phone. Everybody on the planet's got a phone, right? A phone. Everyone on the planet has a phone.
Do you know how many devices I have that are hooked up to my Wi-Fi right now?
This is what I'm saying. So how are you going to tell me, like Kirby just said, that like there's not 8 million people in New York on the internet right now all at the same time?
Right.
Seems to be working fine, right? Like they act like it's a physical thing, like it's actual traffic, like cars. And if there's too many cars, they don't move as fast. That's the internet. No, that is not how the internet works. There's not cars stopping and they move too slow and they're bumper to bumper. Like, that's not the internet. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. Right?
I remember when I was in college and T1 lines were being installed.
Okay. $3,000 a month. That was
right. And I was on campus before school opened because I was staying in the dorms. Okay. So I had 3 weeks with nobody else in the campus. And I had the brand new T1 line all by myself. Okay. And back then we had LimeWire, Pirates Bay, right? All of these things, Napster. Okay. And I downloaded so many movies and so much music instantaneously. I was just like, it was amazing, right? Thousands of songs, thousands of movies. Then school kicked in, and then there was 30,000 kids that all came into the school, and they were all using the T1 line. And now I wasn't downloading thousands of things. I was downloading tens of things because now it's being distributed through everyone else using the internet. But it's like people don't realize that, like, you have to picture like just I'm trying to picture like Starlink. Okay, Starlink can pinpoint you. Okay, so
Because it's
let's
a
say
laser.
you're in the middle of
'Cause
nowhere.
it's
They
a
can make it as
laser.
broad. They can make it as broad
Yes.
and wide as possible, or as directed as it needed to. Right. So
Yes.
let's just say I'm in a room with 1,000 other Starlinks. Okay, they can just scan my Starlink, pinpoint the accuracy of my Starlink because I pay for the higher frequency or whatever,
That's
and
what
it
I'm
works
saying.
just fine.
But this is what I'm saying.
No
right?
guy had to dig a trench. We're not playing roadcraft where I have to go across the mountain range with the cable thing pulling and stuff. Right? Obviously, they want to do the cable stuff because it's, well, they make a shit ton of money.
Well, because you have to be able to tell them that you need to have maintenance online, so I have to charge you for something. If I could tell you I could just launch lasers from point A to point B and bounce it off a satellite, you don't got to charge nobody nothing. You charge them $1. Like you know what I mean? Like that they have to. This is where the term "have to keep the lights on" is, because you have to have structure.
Yeah,
you have to have the infrastructure in order to charge people money. Right? That's why everything's so throttled. Like, I'm sorry, you only get you only get 6K download. Why?
because
Like,
I said
why-
so.
Right? Because you said so. Like,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the knob in my attic, I learned out which knob is. I could just tweak the things.
Explain this to me, right? Explain this to me. I paid for this is years ago. I paid for a certain fee, right? I paid, let's say it was like $50, and I got 50 megabytes. Okay,
Yep.
maybe that's what it was, right? And all of a sudden, I didn't change my plan.
Correct.
They just changed the plan, right?
Right.
And now I went from 50 to 100. Nothing
And I
changed.
did.
No one
That
changed
means- that
anything on my
means you
side.
that means you can throttle me whenever you
That's
want.
right. They just go. Ooh, ooh,
That's correct.
ooh, ooh. That's all they do. They hit
That's
a switch.
correct.
They do a thing. They open up more data for me. Right. When someone picks up the phone and goes, "How can I help you?" My internet's slow. Give me 1 second. How's that going now, sir? It's working fine. Thanks. Right. What do you think they did?
Right.
someone-
Finger in the ass. That's all. That's all they did. That's all they did. Like,
They didn't do
like,
shit.
like, that's all that happened. Like, hang on a second.
Yeah. They're like,
We're back online now.
Mr. 30 and still game is complaining. Oh, hold on 1 second. What does his record say?
But you,
yes,
but
sir.
you,
Give me
but you
1
always
second.
hear, but you always hear this, right?
Yeah, the typing. Okay, sir, everything should be good now. You're like, all right, cool.
Your
Thanks.
typing didn't do shit.
They just pick up the keyboard. Hold on. They just go.
Yeah, they got a keyboard that's just next to
it's
it's not plugged into anything.
It says
they make
give me-
noise.
Give me 1 second, sir. 1 second. Sir, are you still with me? You still with me? Yeah. It says here that you need to.
Yep.
Your past bill is due.
Yep.
I could do a little thing for you. Hold on 1 second. I'll do a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says here
Yeah.
that I'm full of shit.
A lot of stuff.
And
Lot of
and
stuff happening.
voila, you have fast internet now.
A lot of stuff's happening in the background.
Yeah. Nothing fucking happens.
Dude, I've caught them throttling me many a time. I call them up
All
I'm
the
like-
time.
I'm like, stop throttling me. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, we pay for this. I'm looking at my speed. I said, I want my speed that I paid for, and not between the hours of 12 and 6. I want the speed I paid for 24/7. That's why I paid for it. Like, what are we talking about?
I had the Trump card, not the actual Trump, but it's the expression anyway. The guy came and fixed my internet 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and on the side of the thing, he said he said it, and when he said it, he knew he fucked up.
Yep.
Right? Because as he was doing it, he said, "I don't understand why your cable's so slow." He's like, "You're the last node on the block," meaning it ends at me, right? And
That's right.
they throttle me. There's no one else. There's nobody else on this thing. It's just me on this node. Okay, so I went, "Oh, that's interesting." So then I had problems with it again. They were throttling me, and I picked it up and I said, "You guys are throttling me." No, sir. There's no such thing as throttling. I was like, "Well,
Bullshit.
that's bullshit." I said because
Bullshit.
the guy that came out and told me that I was the last node in the thing and I shouldn't be throttled. That's what he said. Those were the exact words out of his mouth. They went dead quiet. They came back, and ever since then, magically, I've never had a problem with my internet. Ever.
Weird.
In the last 2.5 years,
Weird.
haven't had
Weird
any
when you know
problems.
what's supposed to happen that you don't get fucked anymore. Weird.
Yeah. So
Weird how that happens.
who knows? What do I know? I don't know. All right, let's go to this next story, Sarge, which is this is an interesting one, right? Here it says Titanic escape game set to launch on PlayStation in 2026. Well, it seems like an interesting concept, right? Like maybe you're on the boat, you got to try to get on the escape boat or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's listen to this.
Or you try to bang the redhead girl before you drown. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Paint me, Jack. You know what I mean? Like you have to do that, whatever. Right. So let's listen to this.
On social media the other day, and I saw an announcement that there's a new Titanic game coming out on PlayStation.
Hold on,
and of course, being a huge Titanic nerd and obviously a massive
1.25.
boat fan, subscribe so I can one day get a boat. Thank you. And I was a bit conflicted by it because gamifying a tragedy is a bit weird. So I decided to dive a bit deeper to get a better understanding of what this game's really about. Now, I actually started doing some digging to find some more information because I only really had a couple of images just to flick through, and they were cropped in a way that wasn't really that visible. Now, you're probably thinking right now, what's the but? Because there's going to be a but here somewhere. Well, this
looks pretty good, doesn't it? Looks pretty good.
Sure, it looks like the Titanic. Yeah.
All right.
This is a complete and utter scam. The game does not exist. Now, where have I said this before? Well, let's just take a look at the images. Well, firstly, what does that say? Because that certainly doesn't say Titanic on it. The placement and the amount of decks is completely wrong. We can see the two middle funnels smoking. We can see the ship at anchor in an ice field, which didn't happen. Now, moving to the next photo, we've got some really extravagant balustrade with some guy with some really warped hands. And we've also got a part of the Titanic that doesn't exist. Then we've got these really weird stairs. I think you can see where this is going. Then in this shot, we've got a handrail from a modern day cruise ship. The Titanic handrails look nothing like this. And we also have these big kind of ropes going over the side of the ship. And this is not what the promenade deck actually looked like. Then in this shot, we've got some ominous glow coming from here.
First of all, people think they can get away with shit and no one's going to notice. But thank God there's still people out there that read books, understand history, and know what the fuck they're talking about, right? Because this guy's like, this is all bullshit.
Here, yep. And in this shot, we've got part of the handrails missing. The handrails aren't uniform. The floorboards are all weird and warped. And in this shot, they've decided to put one of the lights in the middle of some wall art. Also, this is absolutely nothing what the interior of Titanic actually looked like. Now we've got this image, which is supposed to be, I believe, the Grand Staircase. Well, here's a picture of the Grand Staircase on the Olympic, which was pretty much identical to the one in Titanic. They look nothing like each other. Then we've got this shot with some AI warpings happening on the handrail. And then we've got this shot, which looks like a boat that's probably from like the 1500s. This isn't Titanic. And then let's just very quickly move on to the trailer. And don't worry, guys, we will get to the point very shortly. Bear with me. So in the trailer, we've got this shot here. Once again, the Grand Staircase look nothing like this at all. And you can also see the weird camera warping where they've tried to add like...
Here. Hold on. It froze.
Additional effects around the edge of it to make it somewhat more... But this shot here, once again, the Grand look nothing.
Oh, they're trying to throttle you, bro. We're talking about throttling. They're trying to throttle
operational. So yeah, that's entirely wrong. This is nothing like what the cabins actually look like at all. This is actually more inspired by what a modern day cruise ship interior looks like, just from the layout, obviously not the furnishings. Then on this deck here, now someone on Instagram actually pointed this out very correctly. They've actually merged the front of the Titanic with the rear of the Titanic here. So we're basically seeing Titanic in a half. I'm not sure how best to describe that. Then this is great. We have an orchestra playing here with something bizarre happening in the top right hand corner. I wish I could explain what that was. And what looks to be speakers on the ceiling and a fire alarm system. That's incredible. I don't remember JBL speakers existing back then, but hey, I could be wrong. Now in this shot, they've only got 3 of the funnels smoking, but the smoke is going into the direction of travel, which if the ship is moving at, like 18 knots, the smoke would be going backwards, not forwards. And then here we've got these people's hands merging into one hand together, unless the guy is removing his hand and passing it to the guy next to him. I'm not sure. And this is apparently what swimming looks like. So
no, that's the open sky. This is the iceberg. These are icebergs here. That's the open sky.
It looks like Godzilla there.
It looks like there's a giant monster there. Yeah.
His hand and passing it to the guy next to him. I'm not sure. And this is apparently what swimming looks like. So that's fun. And then apparently when the lifeboats were lowered into the water on this version of Titanic, they go down a ramp and slide into the water. And then now in this shot here, it looks like the Titanic is actually going down stern first, which isn't what happened. Look, you get the idea. You get the idea of what I'm getting at here. This is all just generated with AI. And the problem here is that Sony have allowed this on the PlayStation Store. People are wishlisting this. It's because
that is the craziest. That is the craziest part of it.
Are you serious?
Right. So this is an all AI generated game. Okay. It's not a game. It's a trailer, all made with AI.
But how
and
is
they
it on
have it on the
bro?
PlayStation Store right now.
How?
Right. And it's being wishlist and whatnot.
How, bro?
Become a very wish-listed game, even though the game doesn't exist, won't exist, and can't exist. The only really good Titanic kind of simulator in terms of ones that you can really explore the Titanic in historical accuracy is the project by Titanic Honor and Glory. I will probably do a video on that if you guys are interested, but basically they've created a full realistic version of the Titanic that's best to the knowledge that we have with plans and information. And it's
So this is an actual game now. These are two separate games, right? He's now switching from that game to this game. Titanic Honor and Glory is a group of people that are doing an historical, accurate representation of the actual Titanic, where you could walk around the actual thing. And it's more like a museum piece. That's what he's talking about now.
It's beautiful. We may have seen a channel called Ocean Liner Designs, our friend Mike Brady, covering it in the past, and he's done an excellent job at dispelling a lot of rumors. For me, the most shocking part about all of this is that Sony, they've got a habit of allowing scams on the PlayStation Store. And the thing is that they never actually get published. Of course they don't. Sony review them before the games are released, so you're not going to be downloading malware onto your PlayStation. But by having all of this stuff up in the PlayStation Store, it adds validity to it being a real project, when it most certainly isn't a real project at all. Obviously, these are just AI-generated images, and that's why, like, this ship, according to this trailer, has 3 different grand staircases that are entirely different for each one. I'm just so frustrated with seeing all of these scams exist. For this one, I'm not sure what the intent is. Every scam has an intent. I could put good money on the fact that there's going to be some Titanic crypto coin launched alongside like the first or second.
Yeah, like what's the game plan from this, right? Like they're not going to be monetized. They're not going to make money off of it. So why do it? Why put it up there? And then why is Sony letting this happen? Not just with this, with the other games as well.
Well, when you test something and you put it on a wish list, people click on it. It means it's believable.
Yeah, but do they? It says it's coming out in 2026. If they have a lot of people interested, they're not going to make this game by 2026.
No, but it doesn't matter. The point is they're trying something, right? It's always experimentation. If you put this out, and people click on it for wish listing and they think it's real, then the number of people that pick it are susceptible. They're like, well, this is how many people think it's real, so we just need to work on it because that's how much people think it's real.
Well, I don't know how this works, so I'm going to say something that might be just coming out of my ass. Okay, but when you wish list something, if that's what it's called on PlayStation, it's your information, right? And you're saying you're interested in that. So I don't know what the developer or the person selling the game sees. If they see, like, obviously they would see your gamer tag, right? They would probably know what region you're in. They would probably know what other games you've bought. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're farming for data like that. I don't know. I don't understand what would be the end game of this, but it's still fucked up. And the reason I brought it up is because this is just the first section of what's going to happen in video games, right? I talked about it in the past about
a lot of
Unreal
scams,
Engine and how we have fake games come out because of the Unreal Engine, because of the open world type of stuff. They could just make it pre-generation type of stuff. They could take assets from other things. We've already seen it before, but now we're seeing AI videos being presented as a video game to pitch to people that want a wish list, and there's got to be something around there for farming for your information. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's always what it is. Everything's about getting your information now. You think it's about selling video games? If it's selling video games is just a small part of it, and then the whole microtransactions is another small part of it. The data collection is pretty much everything, because they can sell your information to hundreds of companies. It's a lot of money to be made by selling data.
Yeah,
that's why I'm completely turned off by the whole Borderlands thing from the last. I was turned off already, but after the last set of circumstances that came out about what they're doing, like, I want nothing to do with them now at all.
Yeah. Altern says all it would take is one AI game that is good. Right, but what I'm saying, this is not even a game, right? There's no game.
Right,
it's
no
literally
game.
just a trailer showing you, oh. Now, obviously, it actually, I know the person doing the video, which is a Cyberboy. Make sure you go to his channel, check it out if you want to know more about this. But what he's saying is he's a little disgusted that they would use Titanic to, sell to make money. But I look at it as, well, James Cameron made a movie. They monetized it, right? World War II, which lots of people died. Okay, they've monetized that to, back and forth, over and over again. And now they're putting Beavis and Butthead in wars. You know what I mean? So it might be disgusting, but business doesn't care, because business is just there to make money. So joking with Sarge earlier, I was like, I could see this as a battle royale where everyone's on the ship, right? And you have to try to escape the ship.
You got 20 minutes.
Right, and you got 20 minutes, and you have to figure out before the ship goes down, and then you're on the boats. There's only a couple people that could be on the boat, so you have to be one of the people that get on the boat type of stuff, and that could be a game, right? yes, it sounds disgusting and stuff, but at the same time, you don't have to call it Titanic. You could call it another ship, and it's just whatever it is. But that's a game idea right there, right? So I don't know. I look at this and I don't like that AI is doing this. I don't like that Sony's letting stuff like this just be, on the PlayStation Store.
Well, I think because it's not breaking any laws technically, because it's not really selling anything yet, but it's still that it's on there.
Sure.
And it's not real is a problem.
It's still not a game, and you're on a video game platform.
Well, it's not
trying to
yet,
wish.
Right? It's not a definitive answer that it's real or not real. It's just we being wish listed and Sony's been on it.
Well, sure, it's definitely not real because that's all AI generated.
No, I get it, but this is what I mean by laws, right? There are not laws in place right now about AI. That's the problem. Like they're going to wait until something massively ridiculous happens before they start. We can't get Congress to agree on anything right now, right? They need to sit down and start hammering out rules for AI about what's allowed and what's not allowed. Otherwise, shit's gonna hit the fan, bro.
Right.
Like it sounds cool. We get to do all these cool things. Super Bowl commercials are gonna be great. Porn's gonna be incredible. Like, well, everyone keeps talking about all these positive things, but if you don't get laws in place, like it's gonna be crazy for at least 2 or 3 years, where people are gonna just be running amok, stealing everything, anything that's not nailed down, they're gonna be stealing.
Yeah. All right. Next story I want to talk about, Sarge, is FBC Firebreaker. Okay. FBC Firebreaker is a new game. Now, Kinger was on the show about a month, maybe a month and a half ago. And before that, he talked about how he played this. He got to play like the early access or whatever at the time, and he wasn't really sold on it or whatever. And Kinger is a big Remedy fan, right? He's a big Remedy single-player fan. He said that, he wanted to like this. It just didn't do anything that other games are already on the market for, and he was just underwhelmed. Okay, this is that Post-it note game that we saw. Okay, I watched people play it, and it was kind of weird because they were just, again, first stream I popped into, I started watching it, and all they were doing is running around shooting Post-it notes. They were just shooting Post-it notes, and I was like, okay, that doesn't seem very, very fun. And then I watched the gameplay and I was like, okay, it's like Back 4 Blood. It's like like those types of games where you're trying to get from point A to point B, escaping people and trying to swarms of enemies. So FBC Firebreaker is still struggling on Steam as Remedy promises to make changes. Now, right now, as I just looked it up, on Steam is 1,738 all-time peak. Okay, brand new game. Okay, not full price, but brand new game. 136 players are playing it right now on Steam. So if you're on Steam right now and you're trying to matchmake with people, you're gonna have a bad time because there's not a lot of people playing this game.
You're gonna have a bad time,
right? So they're having bad change, and they're gonna make changes now. Smash TV or Smash JT, I should say, Smash TV as well, right? Yeah. But he said here. Now, breaking Remedy Games accused of lying about the FBC player count with player numbers. He says, oh, and fun fact, they blocked me. I don't really care about that. It says, not a great look. Okay, it doesn't look like these guys are going to be able to continue lying to investors moving forward. So we have a couple screenshots here, and it says, as of late last night, we surpassed 1 million players on FBC Firebreaker. Now, this is a significant milestone, so thank you for playing from all of us at Remedy. We also know there's still a lot of work to be done. So obviously, there is an equation that you can figure out Steam, right? So if you go to Steam and you scroll down, it'll tell you, on certain sites what the potential of the total sales are on Steam. Now, Steam is just one data point. We can't look up the other data points of PlayStation or Game Pass. Now, it is on Game Pass, okay? So this is where the water gets a little murky, okay? So if there's 136 players playing right now and only 1,738 players, now obviously that's not 1,700 people that bought the game. That's concurrent that played the game. So there could be, let's say, 100,000 people that bought this game on Steam, and at one point only 1,700 people. Again, I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't know the exact number. So let's just give them 100,000, because obviously if there was 1 million people playing on Steam, there would be a bigger number than an all-time peak of 1,700, right? So let's just say it's 100,000. Okay, well, now it's on Game Pass, and we know Game Pass has got 35 million subscribers. Okay, well, if there's 100,000 playing on Steam and there's 35 million people, but they only hit 1 million, that's a lot of people. Let's just give them, what, 500,000? Right? So now we're at 600,000 between Xbox, Game Pass, who people are already got it, and then the 100,000 on Steam. And then PlayStation PlayStation has what? The other 400, 500,000?
Yeah, but I'm confused. Right? What's 1 million? What's 1 million? 1 million people played it?
Yeah, 1 million people playing it. Unique players playing it. Okay. So is that good? Is 1 million people playing it across? Because if majority of them are on Game Pass that didn't pay for it, and Xbox paid them up front for it to be on Game Pass, and then you're buying it on Steam and you're buying it on PlayStation, but these numbers maybe combined total equal 500,000, and the other 500,000 are on Game Pass.
Yeah, but I don't think that's 1 million.
They're not making money.
I don't
for this live service game.
Yeah, but I don't think that's 1 million people. If it's a $1,700,
oh, it's on PlayStation Plus. So see, I stand corrected. So they're not making any money from PlayStation Plus from people. It's on PlayStation Plus, and then they have it on Game Pass, and people are not paying for that either. And then on Steam, they only have 1,700 people playing it. So let's just get 500,000 with each, or 400,000 each for the Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, but right? I don't think that that's that many people, man. I don't.
The owner estimation is not on this one for this. I have to go to I think Steam DB.
But why does there have to be owner estimation? Don't you know how many you sold?
Yeah,
don't
so
you know how many individual?
I gave it 100,000. They have less than that. They gave it anywhere between 27,000 and 54,000.
Right,
which is terrible. Okay,
yeah, but even if you
and this is the only platform they played full price for.
Yeah, but even if it's on Game Pass or PS Plus, you know if an individual Xbox has played the game. So you can count that person. I get that part, but I don't think it's 1 million people, bro.
Well, even I don't if it is, there's only 54. Well, we'll give him 54,000. We'll give him 54,000. The other 950,000 has to come from Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
I don't believe so.
I don't think a lot of people bought this game on those consoles, because why would you when it's on PlayStation Plus and it's on Game Pass? But now there's people coming out, right? There's people coming out and they're defending, right? They're defending
what?
They're defending the game because it's their. Well, there's a lot going on here, Sarge.
Defending people, what are you defending?
Because people like Smash JT and people don't like him. They think that he's just out to grift for this. And then there's other people that go against that, right? They go against the thing because these people hate it. They hate them, and they're like, I'm going to defend it, right? So they try to tell you that the game is doing good. But obviously, look, the people that are hating on the game are just showing you proof of the stuff. When they said Dragon Age Veilguard was doing so well,
it wasn't,
and then it didn't, okay? When they say Star Wars Outlaws did so well, but then it didn't. When they said Concord was extremely successful and it closed down in 12 days, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people think that there's two sides. There's people that think that they hate the game, and they're just reporting what we see. And then other people don't even care what the news is. They just hate that the people are talking shit about this. And they're like, how dare you talk bad about this game? It's like, we are on the same side. We're telling you a game is bad. It's not good. And obviously, the developers said they promised to make changes to the game because the game is not fun. It's not in a good state. They just kind of pushed out because of live service trying to make money off of it. Okay? So the people that are complaining about these things, we want good games. We want to see games succeed, but this is not it, my friend. This is not how we want to see games come out, where they're broke, buggy, unfinished, and they get changed later.
Standard operating procedure. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me why I should buy anything day one.
So, like, what
good, bad,
or
indifferent,
say, right? Jason Schreier came out and said, this is for the chuds for Dragon Age, and then he wrote an article saying why the game failed and it didn't sell well, right? So, like, insert foot here, right? Like, it's just mind-boggling to me that people want to defend these games that are like, oh, well, it's because they like it, which is fine. I always say, if you like a game, like a game.
But you can like trash.
Don't defend it, though.
Right, but you can like trash. You just have to admit that you like trash. See, a game being successful or not is not because you and your friends like to play it.
Right.
Is if the game sold enough copies that the company can stay solid and stay liquid.
Right.
If it doesn't, the game's horrible, right? Sorry. Like, I'm not. I once again, I don't care your personal beliefs on a video game. If we're talking about success and failure, we're talking about it if the company stays around.
That's exactly right.
That's the only metric. That's the only metric that we're using. That's it. Well, you can like trash, but you have to admit you like trash.
Well,
It's just it.
here's another story, which is sort of like the opposite, because this game did very well. Okay, which is Monster Hunter Wilds. This game came out in February, sold very well. People really liked it. But then they got to the end game and they went, there is no end game. And then there's optimization problems on the PC and there's issues, but it sold a shit ton of copies. Okay.
Because the bad part of the game wasn't till the end. So now you have this long
Right.
gap of no conversation. Good sales, people play the game, and now there's complaints, but no one cares now because we already have your money.
That's exactly
so
right.
It
They already have your
doesn't
money.
fucking matter. It
So-
doesn't matter.
It says right here, it says the honeymoon period is over as players turn on Monster Hunter Wilds for its lacking of end game content, okay, and bad PC performance. Okay, the honeymoon stage is over. It's like they love this game, but you already gave the money. You already gave the $80. You already
And
gave
you already
the
played it.
$100.
And you already played it.
the entire game. They don't care. Look at this. After successfully in a few months, selling over 10 million copies, garnering over 1 million concurrent Steam players, and receiving criticism, including 4 out of 5 star review from most Windows Central, people will have recently started turning on Capcom's latest entry and vaulted to Monster Hunter series. Right? There's people going back to Monster Hunter World. Because they just don't want to play this. It says, according to Game's Steam page, fans have been review bombing Monster Hunter Wilds to the point where its rating is now overwhelmingly negative. Who cares? They sold
Nobody
10
cares.
million
Right.
copies.
Right? It doesn't matter.
They have no incentive whatsoever
To fix
take their
dick.
sweet ass time to fix this game if they ever fix the game.
They're not gonna fix the game.
It-
They got 10 million. They got 10 million copies, so they're not fixing shit. Enjoy your
It's-
game. Play the game. Played the game. Stop playing the game. Move on to the next game. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
So look at this, right? 10 million copies, 1.3 million concurrent. Now, which game do you think has done better? Firebreaker or Monster Hunter Wilds? I don't know. Just
Well,
thoughts out there.
if I'm going to use their metrics to give an estimation, 10 million copies equals 1 million people concurrent. Right.
Yeah, it's usually
it's
about
popular, it's
1 to
popular.
right. It's about a 1%, whatever. Or I'm sorry, it's like a 3%. It's like a 3% type of thing, right? So it says criticism from the fans. Fans rage from Monster Hunter Wild's lack of substantial end game content compared to previous Monster Hunter titles. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys when they were doing Monster Hunter Wilds and they said, "Oh, we have a roadmap, and we have other monsters coming down the road." And I remember some of you going, "Oh, it's fucking awesome! dude. It's
Awesome.
fucking awesome!
Awesome
Jesus Christ."
roadmap.
I said-
Awesome.
and you said, "Are you going to get it?" I said, "I'm not going to get it until the game's complete." Right? Game's not complete, and here we are. End game sucks because there's not a lot of end game, even though all these people played the game, even though they paid full price for this when it comes out. Here we are. June came out in February, and people are like, let's negatively bomb it because it's a shitty game. You bought it. Doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter because you played past the point of return. Okay, you're not getting your money back. Don't pass go. Don't collect your $200. They have your money. They get to sit on it and go, "Yep, we won again." And the next time they make a game, the next Monster Hunter, people are going to go look at it and go, "Well, it could be Worlds or it could be Wilds. It can't make 2 Wilds in a row, could they?" Right? And you're going to buy it again. And that's exactly what happens. They're like, how long can we get the money out of these people? How fast can we get them out?
That's correct.
Sucker born every second, right?
You know,
So
when I think about Monster Hunter, I always think about Worlds. That's the one I think about.
Yeah, Worlds is awesome.
It was done very well.
Yeah.
It was done
And the
very
expansion was even awesome, right? So fans have started Monster Hunter Wilds optimization on PC remains poor after several months, even when they've run a game with the best PC graphics on the market. Verified reviews decry the game's frame rate, consistent stuttering, numerous graphic glitches, gameplay bugs, on top of crash events. Again, they don't have
care.
to fix anything.
Don't
You
have to
gave
shit.
them the money, and they have 10 million of you. Okay? And here's now where the defense comes in, Sarge. Well, I'm having fun.
I'm having
I'm
fun.
having fun. I'm having fun. I don't care. There's no end game. I don't care about the little stutter that's happened. I don't care.
Sitting on a butt plug right now, but I'm not gay. Having fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me that these people constantly, and they don't understand it. I'm gonna look directly into the camera. Not all of you, but those of you out there, you're ruining your own gaming experience.
Yep.
You're shitting where you eat. Stop it. Stop buying games day one. Stop buying games day one. Stop pre-ordering games. Let them sweat. Let them put the game out and let the few tell you that this game is worth your money. Okay?
Or
you
time.
can take your money and your time, right? Take your money and your time, put it to some game that's actually worth it. Okay? Because even if you're having fun, I guarantee you will have fun with another game that's complete rather than not having fun or having fun with a game that's not complete. Okay? Don't buy a game day one. Wait for them to let you know what is good. You have more avenues right now to tell you if a game is good or bad between YouTube, videos, live streams, Twitch, Kick, whatever. Okay? There's millions of people. Okay? Matter of fact, maybe all these people are just streamers. Everyone that bought the game is just a streamer. There's so many goddamn streamers out there playing video games now. They can make a fortune just off the streamers alone playing the game to get people hyped. People that watch them don't even have to buy the game, and they're successful.
Which is why they fly them out, and which is why they give them codes.
It's true.
Right? Because if there's 100,000 people trying to make it in the gaming industry on streaming, then that's 100,000 copies they get to sell with no problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's 100,000 copies guaranteed they're going to sell because those people want to review the game. But it's still nonsense, bro. Nobody cares. They got the money. They're moving on. It doesn't matter if you tell me there's an entire different team working on it. They're gonna fix it, right? The perfect thing to do for a game like that, and they did it, is for the end game to be bad, because everyone's gonna play the game anyway, and the number of people that takes the number of people, the majority of people that takes it to get to the end game is going to be a long time, because not everybody plays all the time 24/7 when they buy a game. Maybe they play a couple times a week, and there's other games that come out. Yeah, you always have to factor in the time factor. I only have so many hours. What games am I playing?
Right.
What games am I playing?
Real quick, Eclipse says, I bet if it wouldn't have sold bad, you would have gotten these updates a lot sooner. Oh, 100%.
100%.
If this game sold like Firebreaker, they would have made changes super fast and fixed them. They would have been out patch 1. And then people would have been like, oh, these developers need a round of applause because they updated the game so quick. It was awesome. They really care. They really care.
Yeah.
But yet here we are. They sold really well a broken game.
They care about me personally. They sent me a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sent me a card.
They sent you the card and the butt plug that you were having fun with. Yeah.
Sorry, Sarge, about the game not working right. We apologize deeply. Don't worry. Here's a new butt plug. Enjoy your game.
Gift bag wrap.
It's nonsense, bro.
Yeah,
right?
it's fantastic.
You do realize though that and the people don't get it because they consider a video game is like their drug. They have to have it. We're in control. We have been in control. We just don't use the power correctly. If you don't buy the game the first week, everyone just goes like this. We're waiting for the streamers to stream the game. They would shit a brick.
Yep.
Right? They would shit a brick. Why didn't we sell anything? Where are the pre-orders? Everyone's like, we're waiting for so-and-so.
Do you know what game did that?
We're waiting for so-and-so.
Do you know what game did that? Outriders. Outriders did a whole bunch of marketing, and pre-orders sucked. And then all of a sudden, that February, right before it came out, they're like, hey, we're on Game Pass. And they put it on Game Pass at the last second and then begged. They begged because once they put it on Game Pass, they got that money from Game Pass. They were like, well, just because it's on Game Pass doesn't mean you don't have to buy the game. Like, you could buy the game. And then it didn't sell well, right? And then when they did make money, Square Enix took all the money up front and left them with their fucking dicks in their hand. They're like, what do we do now, right?
That's correct.
Kingard says, give Firebreak a chance. They said they're working on it. Just be patient. And I know that's super sarcastic from Kingard because he's a huge Remedy fan. And he's upset that they kind of made this type of game.
If I were a Remedy fan, I'd be upset too.
Well, they don't like. Well, he's a Remedy fan, but they're not a fan of his because he's a white male, by the way. So
I love Relic. I don't like when Relic fucks up. I like Relic games. Relic's made some of the best games over the last decade and a half. Right, some of the best games came from Relic, and all of a sudden they're just trash fire now. It's like I don't understand. I'm pissed off too. Right? Why can't you guys just make a game? Make a fucking game.
So here's another game, Sarge. We have a whole bunch of them, right? We already said goodbye to Mind's Eye last week, I think. But Mind's Eye developer Build a Rocket Boy begins layoffs following a catastrophic game launch. How is it a catastrophic game launch? Just last week, Sarge.
They were doing so well. Everything was great.
A super launch. They were super excited about everything that was happening. They're going to keep updates.
So which is
So they're going to give it 10 years. 10 years it was going to be out.
So what is it, bro? Did it do really well, or it's a catastrophic launch? Which is it?
I mean, it all depends.
Because I have no brain and I can't think it all for myself. So unless you tell me everything I'm supposed to know, I'm just going to sit here on my butt plug. That's it. That's all I'm going to do.
They switched so fast. I got whiplash, right? They went from most successful game and so many people are playing it, so successful. 10 years, we got content coming out of our asses, right? And now this week it's catastrophic. We're doing layoffs. Like what happened? It's only been 6 days since the last time.
The guy you're paying to lie stopped collecting his check. That's exactly what happened. The guy you paid to lie, the money stopped coming. He's like, can I start telling the truth again? Okay. The game sucks, guys. Don't get it.
Well, here in a funny thing here. Here's an interview with the actor from the actual thing. Oh, I have to. I don't know if. Let me know if you guys can hear the sound.
No.
Can you hear it? No. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. I hate this program because I have to like pick the exact screen so you can actually hear the sound. Share screen. This is here it is. Okay, so this is the actor from the game, and there's a guy asked a question. Okay, so here we go.
I don't know whether it's not a lack of QA. I met the QA testers, and they seem competent at their job. But for whatever reason, the company deciding to release something that has these issues, and then sort of taking care of it post-mortem, post-release. Obviously we were not the first game to do that, like a very notorious.
No, you're not anywhere near the first game to do this. Okay, now I've said it. Now he says it in this, but I've said it in the past. I even said it for Mind's Eye. If Mind's Eye came out and said this is a alpha or a beta or a preview program for this game, no problems, because that's telling the customer that this game is not done. We still have a long way to go to play it. We want people to get their hands on it. Let us know what you think. Smaller crowd, cheaper price. That's what you should do, right? So let him continue.
Notorious example is Cyberpunk, and there have been others. And as a gamer, as a consumer, I don't love that. I don't love that model. I don't like that moving forward. I'm not a business person. So like I also want to be very clear that I have no idea why that decision gets made.
Greed.
That gets made all the time.
I would just say
greed.
That from a consumer perspective, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, I think it does more long-term harm than good to your reputation.
100%.
To release something that feels like it is in a state of less.
First impressions are everything. And again, if you put alpha, beta, early access, preview, whatever, okay, you still have that first impressions because you're giving them an opening of going, hey, look, we're just have this little game. Help us build it, and they're like, see, they want to listen to us. We're helping them build this game, and then it comes out, you're like, it's a good game now. But when you come out as a AAA studio or a brand new studio and you put this game out, and it's broke, buggy, unfinished, looks like shit, and they're gonna now fix it over the next 12 to 18 months, I'm done with you. I'm done with you as soon as you gave and said it wasn't fixed or wasn't broken, wasn't done.
Less than 100%, and then charge 100% of the price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up there because he says it.
I think it does more long-term harm than good to your reputation to release something that feels like it is in a state of less than 100%, and then charge 100% of the price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have to be honest with your consumer. And in fact, like I, as a player, would rather be told this is in beta. Like, I know you've been waiting for this for a long time, but this is a beta release of this game. And so whether it's you get to play it for free on some sort of invite list, or it's $20, $30, $15, what insert price. I don't know what the model would be, but like it's a much smaller fee. Know that this shit isn't done. No, it's not done. So please come in around.
And they know it wasn't done. They knew it wasn't done.
After their thing, give us
course
feedback.
They don't know it's
but
done.
No, it's not done. And obviously beta is a thing like that. That is a already pre-established practice. And so I'm not sure what drives companies to essentially carry out beta testing, like
Publishers, deadlines,
without
stockholders,
calling it
all of it.
Yeah.
I, as a consumer, would rather be told, would rather have someone be upfront, because then I know what I'm signing up for.
100%.
But then you don't make money that way, bro. You have to lie to
Do you think
people.
they knew about the problems within the game before they released it? Do you think they were
Yes!
aware that it would be the turn up?
Can't release.
Of course he's going to say. Obviously, you don't
course
know.
Because
But because they released it, yeah, because they released it, of course they knew. Of course they knew the ink wasn't fucking done.
Speak to that, to be honest.
I love these
truly
questions.
don't-
How, like, as a person who manufactures something, do you know when you're done with it?
Of course.
Do you know when you're done making the product that you're making?
My
I
example
make a chair. It only has 3 legs, but I don't know if I'm done with it or not. Like,
My
I don't
example
know
this
if I'm
morning
done.
was even simpler than that, Sarge. It was like, I'm getting dressed in the morning. I got to put a shirt, pants, socks, shoes, get out, right? Underwear, whatever.
Yeah.
If I only put my shirt on and walk out of the house, Donald Duck in it, okay? Am I done getting dressed? No, I know that I'm not done dressed, and I don't give a shit. I'm just going to walk outside and be like, hey, neighbor, what's going on? And be like, hey, how come you don't have pants? Fuck you, that's why, right? Like, I don't care.
Hey, but that's the you can't say with a straight face that a company doesn't know the product is done or not. It's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
They're the only ones that should know if it's done or not.
Who else would know?
They're making the fucking thing, right?
What,
Like,
it's some random dude that works in the company, has nothing to do with the company, walks in, asks the question, "Are you guys done?" And they tell him, like, he's supposed to know.
right. I mean, he's just the actor, and I think Kingard said it
I'm
in
not
chat.
mad
like,
at him.
I feel bad for him because he's the face of the fucking game, right? It's like, hey, how's that game that you worked on?
got
Oh,
paid?
Mind's Eye. Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
No. You can't get mad at him. He collected a check. He did a job.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
it.
I'm not mad at him. I'm
He's
saying
got nothing to do with the
no,
actual.
no, I'm not mad at him.
how-
I'm saying
how
I
the
feel
game is
sorry
made.
for him because his face is all over the game. So when they'll be like, oh, his friends probably give him shit now. Be like, oh, how's that Mind's Eye game, huh? Even though he got paid. He's like, yeah, it could have been a big break for me, but, you know, they fucked it up. Yeah, they fucked it up.
Well, not everyone understands how badly everyone's getting fucked. You're just looking for a job, right?
Correct.
If you
Yeah.
knew people were lying to you 24/7 and they offered you a job, you would think be like, hey, I don't know about this. But somebody offers you a job, maybe it's a break for you. You're taking the fucking job.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me.
And I don't respect the guy who's asking him the questions because
It's a
you're a
stupid
tool.
question.
You're a tool,
Yeah,
right?
the
How
question's
long have you
stupid.
been doing this? Have you talked to any other company at all? Do you know if you're done or not? Do you know if does anyone know if you're done?
He's looking for sound bites. That's what they're doing. With a
aware.
question like that, they're looking for sound bites and try to get him
aware.
in trouble. The actor from Mind's Eye, you know, that's what they're using right now, right? The actor disagrees with what Mind's Eye did. The actor just showed up, did his part, left the fucking thing. He did his job. Everyone actually said it's probably the best thing. The motion capture and the acting in the game is the best stuff,
That's great.
which is great if you're making a movie, which you're making a video game and the video game blows. Okay. So Mind's Eye, I'm sure, again, it's going to be open for 10 years, they said. So I said 10 months, they'll be closed down. They already have layoffs. So speaking of layoffs, let's talk about the other guy.
But how, bro? How do they have layoffs? They were doing so well.
Yeah. That it's a very successful game, Sarge. I don't understand it.
I was told it was very successful.
Very
Matter of fact, I
successful.
was told it's successful, and I just stopped listening to video game
That's
news.
right. Once they say it's successful, I just shut my
stopped
ears
listening.
off.
Yeah,
I
that's it. I
listening.
just stopped listening.
Right. So the next one is Splitgate 2 developer 1047 game holds layoffs. Okay. Now this is another one. This is the guy.
Holds layoffs.
Yeah. It's a
It's
term. I
not
looked
a-
it up. I looked
it's
it
not
up. Yeah.
It's not an interview.
I know, but when they say hold layoffs, I looked it up on stream when we did it.
Yeah.
Right. Holding layoffs is just saying that they're doing layoffs. I'm like, you hold tryouts. You don't hold layoffs.
Right,
That's
right, you're
not
not taking-
like sending emails. Who wants to come in and get laid off?
Yeah.
Any volunteers?
Yeah,
Anyone?
yeah.
You want to come in? We're holding some layoffs today, right? So
It's a bad word. It's a bad
this
word.
guy, Ian, who's just since the game Summer Game Fest, has just been walking around with a shoe in his mouth because he's been on a apology tour left and right, for the hat,
He just
for
needs to
throwing
shut
his
up.
the guy that worked for Call of Duty underneath the bus, the microtransactions that were $150, and then he said 50% off, but they only gave a 45% off, making the game better, and now they laid off employees. Okay,
shit.
and to sound like he's the good guy, Sarge, he's taken no salary. Okay, so just weeks after a full
you think you're gonna Nintendo your way out of this fucking conversation? You think you're going to be the big man, not take a salary? You think you're going to Nintendo your way out of this conversation? You are so wrong, my friend.
Here, just weeks after the full launch on May, Splitgate developer 1047 Games has announced that they're holding layoffs. Come on, try out for the layoffs. Here, come on in, have the layoffs. In post LinkedIn, thanks to Xbox Era for spotting that, the company's official account says that they had parted ways with a small group of valued 1047 Games, and they weren't a big studio, weren't they? It says, quote, "We're still perfecting the Splitgate 2 gameplay experience in response to the community feedback, and they're redirecting resources to build the best game for our players," they said. Quote, "We are sad to see our teammates go, and we're actively working on to help them secure new opportunities." No, you're not. Stop it. Right? You're not taking time out of your busy day where now you're not making any salary to be like, "Well, Tim, thanks for trying out today for the holding layoffs. Let me walk across the street and let's get you a job with Blizzard." Like, that's not happening. Okay? It's called a reference on a resume. That's what you're doing. Yeah, he's a good worker. Great. Why'd you let him go? It's because we're stupid and we have no upper management and we had to let people go.
That's correct.
In addition to the layoffs, it was said that 1047 Games co-founder Ian and Nick have opted not to take salaries as they lock in to deliver the next phase of the project. Oh, that's so nice.
The next phase of the project that no one wants to play? What do tell. What phase of the game that no one wants to play are you going to do?
Yep. He says, "Thank you for those."
I mean, I thought this was the new and improved Call of Duty, bro, right? I thought putting portals everywhere and thus never having a safe spot to reload your gun, never mind to like pivot and think about what you're doing. There's just people flying in all different directions.
Well, now there's
it's
less
such an amazing game, bro.
Yeah. Now there's less people working on the game, and they're still working on the next phase of the incomplete game that they put out in the market. That's a free-to-play game with 140, and I will keep saying $140 microtransactions.
$140.
Okay, even with the discount, it's $80. Okay, it says, "Thank you very much for choosing to build alongside us, and we're sad to say goodbye and would not be here without you." 1047 Games said to everyone who's playing Splitgate 2, "We're continuing to work hard to deliver more things we know you'll love, like 90 microtransactions.
A game.
Right? We're committed to building this game for the long haul." Well, just make a game. Just make the game.
No, you're not. You're not making anything long haul. Make a game, sell the game. That's it. They can't even look. They're announcing it to you, bro. We are not going to make a game. And
we're not. They said it right here.
We're
committed to building this game.
Right. They're building a game.
Yeah,
they're not making the game.
The game is never going to be done because it'll be done being played before they're done building the game to play.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
All right. So there you go. There's a Splitgate, but guess what, Sarge? Splitgate. People are having fun. Right? And they have a quarter of the people have they have a quarter of the people that they had originally for Splitgate 1. They had 25,000 max for their total Steam numbers, okay? And it was much more for Splitgate 1 than 2. Look, they're never going to get back to what they were. And I mean that. I never say never.
All this you had to do was
2 years
add
done
on to your other game.
2 years.
That's
they're done.
all you had to do.
I can see the future, and the future tells me within 2 years this studio's closed, and then 3-4 years later we hear Ian's name again because he started a new studio with a new game with a new vision. And we'll just put him in the book
with new investors, of course.
Yeah, with new investors, and we'll make him the new Peter Molyneux, right? That's the guy who made all these the Fable games originally. Like, he has all these ideas but never pans through because of all his whatever. So there's Splitgate for you. So we got Splitgate done.
Did you hear the rumor that they canceled Fable?
I saw that, but I didn't take anything of it because people just say shit now.
Okay.
I don't really report on. We'll do the claims and stuff, but there hasn't even been that. There hasn't even been an article about a claim of Fable's been canceled. It's just people saying Fable's canceled, right? There's no backup from that.
I mean, they have a good line of credit to just say it, because if you don't talk about a game for 10 years, I'm pretty sure you're not making one.
Yeah, at this point though, you could just say anything, right? You can say
I'm aware they can say anything. That's all they do is say anything.
Wolverine's canceled, right? I said it, right? And someone might hear it, clip it, and go, "Well, 30 and Still Gaming from the Generation X Gaming Podcast said it was canceled with no sources whatsoever. It's claimed," right? Like that's all they have to do.
It's a fucking joke, bro.
All right. The next is rematch.
Total joke. I'm gonna have such a
Right?
great time. I'm gonna pour myself a scotch after the show and start looking on Steam and bounce up and down on the chair. I'm gonna find some games to play tonight.
So Slow Clap is the developer of Rematch, and Rematch is this the right article? This is not the right article. I'll talk about it anyway. So they're trying to get crossplay. They didn't get crossplay in right away. They also said, and I don't know if this is the actual. No, this is the wrong article. Let me see if I have the other one real fast. Is it this one? No. We might just skip it because I don't think I have the right one. I was going to talk about Slow Clap Rematch because the developer came out and basically said that you don't need to make a competitive game free to play. You can make a game that's just good, like make a game, sell a game, and as long as it's fun and good, right, then you can charge for it because people like playing the game.
Because it's a product and you made it.
Right, it's a product. It's a
you're allowed
game,
to charge
right?
for products. That's how
yeah,
it works.
So he says that's why he didn't make it into a free-to-play game. He thinks that the game's good enough and it plays. And I would admit that it's not as flushed out as it should be. Netcode, again, is a little unstable. But I think once they figure that out, I think the game will be very well off. I think it'll be here for years to come. But if they don't ever fix that netcode, then it'll be like X Defiant, and it'll be done within a year. Because if they can't fix the netcode, then that game is done. Okay, but I do appreciate him saying that you don't have to make a free to play game, and as long as you make a game, he actually said this: make a game, and it's good and fun, then you can charge what you want because
that's just a longer way of saying make a game, sell a game. That's
right,
just a longer way of saying that. Yeah, I got it.
All right, so another story we have is Star Wars Battlefront 2 is back in the news again just a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We were talking about how it had the most players it ever had, and I think it was like 18,000 at that time. And now they hit a brand new number where I think it's like 28,000. Keeps breaking 35,000. There you go. So 35,000. So it went up double, right? It went up almost double what it was the last time we saw it 2 weeks ago, where it was 18,000. And people are going out and playing it. And again, we play it. We've been playing it. We're not jumping on the bandwagon. We've actually been playing it for years. We always play it with Sarge. So it keeps breaking records. It says an all-new all-time peak of Star Wars Battlefront 2 is recorded on June 22nd with 35,892 players. It says, to be honest, this figure could be broken again and again. The EA publisher's sale on Steam has slashed Battlefront 2 by 80%. This means you can buy the game right now for $8. Evidently, many players are doing it, including NBA star. What the fuck do I care about the fucking Kyle Irving to buy it? What the? This is so stupid. Including the basketball player. He's buying it, so that means you should buy it too, right? He was streaming the game and professed that his love for Battlefront 2. I love this game because I want to have a big LAN competition with the man. It's also I want to play the best Battlefront 2 players in the world. I want them to make Battlefront 3 already, bro. Okay, I think that's why they did it, because he's a basketball player, and if he wants Battlefront 3, well, obviously they will do it for him. Okay, so. So Irving's Battlefront 3 statement is not one-off opinion either. If you scour the X, you'll also find plenty of trending terms such as Battlefront 3, hashtag Battlefront 3, and make Battlefront 3. Look, don't listen here, Irving. Okay, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but let's not jump on the bandwagon and then use Irving like he's the lead of this thing, right? There's other people that have been talking about Battlefront 3 for fucking months, if not years, about Battlefront 3, and now Kyle Irving comes along and is like, yeah, well, I'm on board. Hashtag Battlefield 3.
No, what I think is happening, I'm give him a break. I think what's happening is there's a community swell of people who really want to play there are groups of kids who love the game, who are getting on the phone and texting to their friends.
Also Kyle Irving fans.
Right, that are all want to play, and so they get a bunch of kids to play, and then they throw in a name, they get a guy to actually speak up about it, and so like they're trying to build momentum and say, hey, the game is good. The game is great. We've all had fun with it. Where's the other one? We're waiting. Like, we want to play, right? But you guys don't want to make it because you're scared that you can't make it without the boxes.
They don't want to. EA doesn't want to pay the licensing for it. That's why they want more money in their pocket.
The game's open. Anyone can get it now. Anybody.
I think someone's going to make it. Hell, I've been on
Yeah.
record saying it's already
Yeah, but
made.
they
They're
have-
just waiting on it. They're just sitting on it.
But the problem is the amount of money that Disney charge. It has to be a big studio that has money to.
That's what I'm
burn.
saying. No one wants to pay no one wants to pay the fee. No one wants to pay that licensing fee, man.
Well, Disney's gonna lower the fees soon, bro, because Disney's not doing well, bro. Like, what do you want? What do they want to make a game? Do you guys know what the fee is for the licensing fee?
It's usually like 25 to 30%. They usually, I would assume.
25 or 30% of what they sell?
Yeah, because it's a Disney tax. It's a Disney tax.
Holy shit, bro!
Yeah, Marvel and
you
Star
want
Wars.
30%?
Yeah, I guarantee.
How
I
about
guarantee you it's
15
something
and
like that.
it.
No, I guarantee you it's 25 and 30 because before
That's-
they used to have the power.
That's absurd, bro.
Yeah, they used to have the power. They were like, well, if you want the Star Wars brand, but now the Star Wars brand's in the fucking toilet, right? So they probably say 5%, and they'd be like, that's our final offer, and Disney's like, all right, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Seriously,
Right?
bro.
Yeah, they have a high percentage for the actual percent because I know they used to. Their percent was higher when it came to movies. Right, their percent was higher than on average, so I don't know, but you know, I want Battlefront 3, but here's the thing: I think it's a dream because if Battlefront 3 comes out, you know it's not going to be Battlefront 2. They're going to take shit out, okay, and they're going to slowly bring it back in over a battle pass, roadmap, microtransaction, DLC, whatever. It's not going to be what Battlefront 2 is. It's going to be half-assed Battlefront 2, and we'll get Battlefront 3 6 years after Battlefront 3 comes out. You know what I'm saying? It'll just slowly build up.
I think the only one that has enough money to throw in the face of Disney and has enough talent to do it would be Rockstar.
Everybody else, Embark. I would like to see Embark do it.
Everybody else has been shattered. Any good name you give me of a studio has been shattered. The talent that's there is not there anymore. The only people that are still there for their studio, that Rockstar still got their people.
The only people I would think about doing it is Embark. Embark is the people that used to do DICE. Embark was the people that were at DICE Battlefield. They did they were the ones basically that did Battlefield and Battlefront back in the day. They left, opened the new studio of Embark. They did Finals, the 3v3 where it's fully destructible environment, and now they're doing Arc Raiders. Okay. I can see them making a Battlefield 3 game, and that would be, I think, an awesome. Like, think Arc Raiders, like the way Arc Raiders is, but in Battlefront now, like a Star Wars world. I can see that happening. I don't want a battle royale. I want Battlefront 3. I don't want a Extraction. I want Battlefront 3. Right? I don't want Battlefront 3 half-ass. I want Battlefront 3. All the movies, all the things, all the characters, and I want Galactic Conquest, right? Put Galactic Conquest in the actual thing, right? Make the game, man. Like, it would sell. It would sell. But they would be money grubbing, greed factor. They would go back to putting loot boxes or something in the game. They would find some way to ruin it for everybody. 100%.
Well, that's why they can't do it. Right, because they know they can't do it without fucking it up. That's the problem. They can't think about making a Star Wars Battlefront 3 and just make the game and sell the game. They can't.
Well, I heard recently, Krebsy, as you bring up Squadrons, right? One of the developers that worked on Battlefront 2 was in an interview on a podcast and said they were never going to update Starfighter Assault, right, inside the Battlefront 2. They said they weren't going to touch it anymore. They weren't going to update it. It was just going to be left there because EA knew they were making a Squadrons game, and it was much cheaper to do that than to do updates in this. And they didn't want to update that because it would have affected Squadrons, because then people would have played that instead of that. So it was very interesting when he said that, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And the developers had so much more ideas that they wanted to put into the game of Battlefront 3. They wanted to put Ahsoka and Ventress, and they wanted to put R2-D2 in there, and they wanted to put other characters in there, and it all went out the window because, well, EA didn't want to do it. So the people that are interested that made the game, they want to come back, whoever studio, and they would love to do it because they loved working on Battlefront 2. So we'll see what happens there. Kingard says, EA had lost over $1 billion in stock after Battlefront 2 release, then spent development time fixing it for free, then had to see Congress. So I bet it wouldn't be egregious as 2 was a launch. But yeah, they still sold 12 million copies. Let's not.
That's correct. 12 million copies, and they were mad.
Yeah, they sold 12 million copies and screwed themselves over. But that wasn't their fault, really, right? it was like a perfect storm that was happening, because when Battlefront 2 came out, The Last Jedi came out, and The Last Jedi was the pull the plug on Star Wars, and that's when it started going haywire. And then the loot boxes came in, and then the court case came in, and all this other stuff, and it just
And all the fans
it really
say
is a
go fuck-
fantastic
all
game.
the fans say go fuck yourself in your
Yeah.
loot boxes.
Yep. Let's see here. Battlefront 3 Extraction Baby Yoda. Yeah, extract Baby Yoda. That's exactly what it would be. Let's go to the next story.
Mandalorian characters, you could have all kinds of stuff, bro. It would be such a great game to update. Like you could have that game as like a Madden game update. Like you have Battlefront, and then every year you update new characters. That would be how you do that game. You wouldn't have to make a Battlefront every 5 years. You just keep updating the Battlefront game with new characters and new shit. That game has a live service thing inside there, but not like seasons type of thing. Like we just update the game. We sell you, like you sell map packs, you sell character packs. That's it.
Next up, we have the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition, which I figured out what it was, Sarge. Xbox didn't team up with Facebook. Okay. Facebook teamed up with Xbox. And here's why I think this way. Okay. Xbox is not doing anything with VR. They're not doing anything with VR. Okay. Facebook wants to sell more headsets. And they didn't approach Xbox to be like, oh, we're going to sell a shit ton of these headsets if we get Xbox. Last year when Zuckerberg talked about this, he talked about the headsets and how they would have different headsets, where they would have a, workout headset, and then they would have a office headset, and they would have a gaming headset, and then they would have just the regular MetaQuest headset. Well, it turns out they're actually not making 4 different headsets. They're just marketing towards the people of these areas of, hey, you want to work out? They'll give you like a different type of band and a different type of style. So if you want to work out, you can wear this as a workout. And if you want to work on the office, there's this situation. But they're all the same, right? They're all the exact same. The internals are the same. The headset's the exact same. Then there's this, where it's the MetaQuest 3S, but black, and with an Xbox controller, and with 3 months of Game Pass, which, mind you, I've said in the past that all they have to do is give you a controller and 3 months of Game Pass for the television set and for the whatever else, and that's the way they'll work. So Microsoft's like, because these are very rare, very limited, okay? They're not doing a big run for these. So I was like, why would Microsoft do this? Is because Meta's trying to sell more people on the Meta. Hence why even in their own headset, they're selling the Meta Horizon or whatever it is, which is their proprietary, like, when you go into the world of MetaQuest, there's like these, you can go fishing and hang out with people and do these like chats and whatnot. They're trying to make the meta within that, where they're like, well, how do we market this to more people? But people don't want to buy the headset because they think it's all about the VR. Well, what they're trying to do is, well, if you're a gamer, you can get this now. Hey, Xbox, you can get this. And it's actually a pretty good price, $400 for what you're getting. You're getting the 3 months plus the controller plus the band, which is the Elite. So you're actually saving money. If you bought these separately, you would actually be over $400. So they're actually that. But you could also buy a MetaQuest 3S right now for $299, standard, $100 less. But it doesn't have the Elite band, which is like $60. The controller itself is like another $60, so that's $120 there. So you're already over the price. And then 3 months of Game Pass is an additional $60. So you're
what do you think?
like
You think that Facebook painted them black and called them Xbox and wanted them to sell them over an Xbox? Is that what you think happened?
No, I think Facebook was like, hey, would you like to team up with us? Because they're trying to get more headsets out there. And they're just trying to market it to those people, to gamers, to people that do exercise, to people that want to work in an office. And I think that's what they're doing. I don't think they're not changing. Because I even said this last year. I was like, if they make this cheaper, where it's just like you buy this headset and it's basically a TV on your face. That's it, right? Nothing else of the VR headset. No Meta, no Facebook, no nothing. No video games. It's just Game Pass on this headset. So you put the headset on and they sell it for cheaper. Then people might buy it for just this. But it's a headset. It's a VR headset. But there's no VR games on Xbox. You can't play VR games. You need a computer to play VR when you do it, or just the games that are inside the MetaQuest itself. But there's no Xbox VR games besides Microsoft Flight Sim. There might be like one or other one of that, but you can't play that in the headset. You got to play that when you plug it into the computer when you're playing. So it's very interesting seeing, what they're doing with this, and it's just weird, right? You got Xbox that raised their prices of their consoles. They got the Xbox ROG Ally coming out, which we don't know the price yet, but that could be like $600 to $900 for that. Then you have their consoles that are up $720 and $500. Then you have this that's coming in at $400. So technically, this is the cheapest Xbox you could buy, which is the headset at $400.
So what are you telling me? Are you telling me I want to buy a headset just because I want a big TV? That's it? Is that it? Is that the only reason why I want to get it?
I can see it selling for people that are in like small apartments, or people that don't have maybe they can't if you can't afford a television set because you don't have the room, not because they can't afford a television set, right? They don't have the room for another TV. They could buy this.
Your place is small.
Yeah, your place is too small. Maybe you don't want a television set because you don't want cable or something. Maybe you want this because you can take it with you. I don't know. It's just a weird thing, but it's just MetaQuest Black Edition. That's basically what it is. It's not really an Xbox. It's Xbox thematic. That's it.
I mean, this just seems like a desperate push to push VR stuff, and they still don't have a lot of games for VR. Like they talk about it, but it just seems like the last gasp of the last ditch effort to push VR stuff again before it goes in hibernates again for like another 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is like the fourth time we've seen this.
Oh yeah,
right?
This is always going to happen now.
Yeah, but they don't talk about VR every year though. Like they talk about VR, they push it hard every many years.
Yeah, but remember, this is not. See, look right here. It says MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition. Play Xbox on a massive virtual screen. They're not talking about VR here. They're just.
That's what I'm saying. They're
just advertising it for a big screen,
big TV.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem strange?
It is strange. Yeah, 100%. Because I could do that. I could do what they're saying right now on my MetaQuest 2. I've been doing it for the last 2 years. When I break it down, I put it on my head, and I'm in a movie theater, and I'm playing video games, streaming from the cloud. I'm playing Game Pass games. I'm playing Steam games. I just played Dune Awakening on my headset from 180 miles away, right? Like, it's cool. I get it. But at the same time...
But then that would mean they're not advertising this as a VR set. They're just advertising it as a television. That's
what I'm saying. And that's why I don't think Xbox teamed up with Facebook. I think Facebook teamed up with Xbox to say, "Hey, would you like to team up? Because we're trying to move some headsets." And Xbox is like, "Yeah, sure. We have an app there. They can play Game Pass. Sure, everything's an Xbox. Why not?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I like I said, I don't think this is a Microsoft move. I think this is more of a Facebook.
How big is the screen inside the headset?
You can sit in. Well, the screen you can make it as big or as small as you want. So you can make it a 55-inch. You can make it 120 inches. You can make it. If you download a certain app, you can put it in a movie theater. Like you're sitting in a movie theater, and the screen's as big as a movie theater screen.
Well, how much is a television that's 50-something inches now? Is the question? That's basically
you can pick up a 55-inch for I don't know $200-$300, maybe even less, all depending what brand it is.
And the headset's $400. See, it's about
yeah. So it's about the same.
You're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but you can get up and walk around because it's got a pass through. I really like it. I have the black and white version, so like my pass-through is black and white. I don't have color, but you can still keep it on and walk around the house and not hit anything. You know what I mean? Like because you can see it.
Because when you start moving, the overlay comes in, right? So it's the same.
Yeah, you can shut off the overlay and you can just walk, and so you're not like I have conversations, and when I'm talking to people, I can see them, so I turn towards them and talk to them while I had the fucking headset on. I look like an idiot, but I can see them. Meanwhile, I'm working at my desk because I have like 3 screens. Like my computer set up here, when I have virtual PC on, I'm sitting in front of my desk, but 180 miles away. I like using it. It's a really cool system. But I don't think this is going to be a big seller. I don't think. I mean, obviously they'll be like it all sold out, but they only made like 1,000 of them. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're selling 10 million of them. All right, so there's that. It's just weird. It's just a weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have let's see what we got. The Beavis and Butthead. We got. We can talk about this.
That still irks me. Beavis and Butthead inside Call of Duty.
This says, and I don't know. We just talk about the.
Oh, my favorite topic, bro.
Yeah, favorite topic. Destiny 2 Edge of Fate pre-orders are down nearly 50% from the final shape, the new data shows. Okay, so it says, despite the major updates coming to Destiny 2, the Edge of Fate expansion, new fans analysts show pre-orders are nearly 50% lower than the final shape. What were the final shape numbers? Did they say that in this article?
Because the final shape was the end of the thing, right? The end of the story.
I think Destiny's having a Marvel crisis, if you know what I
Right?
mean. Like at
Yeah,
the end of
they
Endgame-
just did Endgame, and they want to know
Right.
why nobody else is interested
Yeah.
because you just finished the fucking story.
Yeah. Yeah. Destiny 2's next big expansion, Edge of Fate, is just a few weeks away, launching on July 15th. The expansion kicks off the new year of prophecy and adds some fantastic changes, including a portal, a new gear tiering system, armor stat overhaul, non-linear campaign, and more. This is also the start of Destiny 2's new content delivery structure with a free major update in between each expansion released. It sounds like a solid step forward on paper, but a lot of the longtime players seem generally interested seem interested in Edge of Fate as to offer, or has to offer. But many players feel like there's also excitement around the expansion doesn't seem to match what we've seen in the past years. Again, like you just said, it's like it's over. Destiny 2 Edge of Fate pre-orders data shows major drop. Reddit user Testify shared a data-driven comparison between pre-orders for Edge of Fate and Final Shape earlier today using publicly available stats from warmind.io, the popular Destiny 2 stat tracking site. Well, not official numbers from Bungie, but the data offers one of the clearest glimpses of pre-order trends he got right now. To track pre-order numbers, he looked at the number of Destiny 2 accounts that have unlocked a unique pre-order emblem tied to each expansion external sites. Each of the Edge of Fate and for the Final Shape, but also because of the emblems are tied directly to purchasing the expansion, they work as a fairly consistent way to monitor pre-orders interest over time.
Wow, interesting, huh?
The Reddit user automated this tracking process and also been collecting data daily since March of 2024, storing the database. So here you go. Which is what here? The yellow is the casual path. The other one's external sites. Okay, project, and then so is it this one? Is it the purple one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the final shape. Oh, this is the final shape. Edge of Fate. Which one's? Wait a minute. Edge of Fate is projected 53%. Okay, so it's this yellow one here. Okay.
Edge of Fate is the blue one.
Oh, Edge of Fate. Yeah, it's the blue one. Dotted blue one. Sorry.
Yep.
Edge of Fate percent-wise, TFS, which is this one. Okay, so yeah, so the blue one is way below, and even if it's projected to go up, it's still going to be half of what was in the last one. It was 2.11 million, and now it's 1.12 million projected.
It looks pretty though, Robert. Graphs are pretty, and by the way, when this thing falls flat on its face, the two things are going to happen because this is Bungie's go-to move. That the next expansion they come out with will be the best expansion ever because they have to try to revitalize everything. But instead of you can't revitalize anything from a dead person, right? So they're not going to be able to revitalize, and they're pretty much dead in the water at this point. So I'm going to assume after this game releases on the 25th, they try to push it through everyone's face until late September before Borderlands comes out, and everyone ignores this game completely. So. Well, we're gonna see what they do, but I can pretty much guarantee that the Bungie's in for a little rocky road here because the game is as they said indefinitely delayed. Which
there's gonna be layoffs happening here.
Layoffs.
Right? So Edge of Fate pre-orders are 40% lower than Final Shape at the same point. Trends continue. Edge of Fate is on track for around 1.1 million purchases compared to 2.1 million of the Final Shape in the first month. The percent comparison, currently 53%, is updated daily to show the pacing against the Final Shape. Analysts automated this tracking process has been collecting data since March of 2024. So there you go.
Go back. What's that? What's it called? Renegades. Ooh,
that's the next one. Destiny 2 Renegades.
Yeah. See, Renegades. Ooh.
That's available December 2nd.
Oh, bro, Renegades. It sounds amazing.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it, bro.
Bro, it sounds amazing, bro.
It's
Renegades sounds like
amazing.
Star Wars, dude.
You want to see what else is amazing, Sarge? This is amazing. Are you ready for this? So this is called Introducing Spartan Survivors. Okay. Fighting hordes of Covenant and flood into new game mixing roguelike Halo and bullet haven of hundreds of hours of mindless fun.
Hundreds of hours.
Made by the community, within the community, for the community, and available late 2020.
So it's an Inception community.
Available for free late 2024. I don't know if you know this. We're in mid 2025.
I mean,
but
okay. Is it out?
Are you ready for what this game is?
Yeah, I want to see what the community made.
Sounds amazing, right?
It does.
Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is.
Spartan Survivors. Okay, a little cartoony.
On Xbox, Steam, and itch.io.
Yeah, but okay. So did the community make this?
Yeah, this is community made.
So they're gonna get sued into oblivion? What am I
It's
looking at?
Vampire Survivor,
I'm sorry, what?
but Halo.
It looks horrible, bro. Vampire Survivors looks better than this. What am I looking at? That's like, is that real? That's not real. I mean, are they gonna sue him? Like what's happening right now? Community made a Halo game without permission, and so what? So wait, is this like a joke where they make this game, they see if it does well. If it does well, they sue them into oblivion. If it doesn't do well, they just ignore them.
Well, breaking news. Breaking news. Halo Studios has reached out to them, okay, and they have their blessing to keep moving forward with the game. It says thank you for the support and appreciation, and we will not be forgotten. So there you go. So they actually got the support from Halo Studios themselves. It's been
Halo
approved.
Studios hasn't made anything yet.
That's exactly why they're like, yeah, go ahead. We were going to make this anyway, so go ahead and make it, right?
Like Halo Studios was just invented. They haven't made shit yet. They haven't made anything yet.
But it's Halo Studios, Sarge. That's the worst fucking logo, by the way, I've ever seen. Right? Not this one.
It looks like a
Halo Studios.
a font for a Spanish drink that tastes like shit.
Yeah, it looks like the T got tipped over.
It's like,
you know what
it's
I mean?
called
Like,
Halo, but they really mean oranges, and it tastes like
it's called
tapioca.
tallow,
It's
which is
disgusting.
like fat. Is basically what it looks
Yeah.
like. It looks like the T
Yeah.
fell over. It's like
Yeah.
Tallow Studios.
Yeah, it looks like tallow. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
bad. But there you go. There's a video game.
I guarantee you that game sells more than the Destiny expansion, and then they're going to sue them.
Make a game, sell a game. Yeah. We'll see.
That game will sell more than the Destiny 2 expansion, and then Halo Studios will then sue them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like one guy or whatever doing the thing, and they made a game. I'm not making fun of the game. I'm making fun of the situation.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
It's not a joke. It's an actual game. But the problem is that like Halo hasn't made anything yet, and someone made a fan-made thing, and they're like, "Yeah, you got our blessing. You can continue doing it," because they don't have anything. They don't have it. Remember, Halo imploded, right? They imploded because their 10-year plan
themselves.
Yeah, their 10-year plan for Halo Infinite lasted 2.5 years, and now they're reworking. Not only did they implode Halo Infinite, but they imploded the studio and made a new studio so they can make new games for Halo, for people that like making Halo. So
they blew themselves up on purpose.
I talked about this a couple days ago. This is a game that is called Hightail. And Hightail was a game like Minecraft. The people that were making this game were really big fans of Minecraft, but they wanted to make it more. They wanted to make it where it was like an adventure RPG, where you can make a community. It would have an in-game economy. You could make your own movies and machinima inside the game. You could do your own thing. It was everything, right? They were working on this game for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, within the 5th year, they said, "We're going to change the engine. We're going to update it to the new engine or whatever, blah, blah, blah." And they worked on it for 2 years. They went silent for almost a year and a half. They came back saying, "Hey, we're still working on this. Here it is." And then all of a sudden we hear the studio's closed after 7 years of development. And that's it. They're done. They closed the doors of Hightail. Now, Hightail,
because you kept... What is it called? What is it called, Creep? It's called... When you keep trying to make new shit, but you never make the game? Not future creep. It's called some kind of creep. Like, you didn't make anything.
Yeah, they just kept
You just kept chasing something that you didn't finish. You never finished it.
So this is the what it looked like, and I thought it was good, right? Because it was voxel based. They were doing better than Minecraft was. It was much more detailed. You can make different types of houses and whatnot as far as the shapes, because they were using more pixels than what Minecraft was using. You could do co-op and adventure together, and there was leveling going on. A bunch of different things, right?
Why didn't you finish it?
These are big Minecraft fans, but they never finished it. They just kept chasing, like, "Oh, you want to put that in the game? Oh, you want to put this in the game? Oh, we saw that, and we're going to put that in the game. Oh, we're going to make this perfect. We're going to make this thing crafted perfect." But they never did anything. You never saw anything.
Release it. Minecraft builds stuff over years. You could have just released the basic game and then continued to work on it. Fucking sell something. You can't work on something for 7 years and never sell a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I got to go back.
Who's funding them?
I got to go back because I know I talked about this when we first saw it, like 6-7 years ago.
Can you imagine if you're someone that has a bunch of money and you're in the circles of guys who keep asking you for money to make video games, and these fucking guys come up and ask you about more? Like, if you're someone that's been giving to the video game community industry in order to fund these games being made, after a while you have to say to yourself, you guys are all fucking nuts. You guys haven't made shit in a decade. Nobody's made anything. You guys
you're
are
pitching people on an idea.
Right. You have rehashed everything possible, but you refuse to finish a fucking game. Like, how do they get funded? Who is funding them?
Well, they got bought in 2021 by Riot Games. And Riot gave them money for the next 4 years, and now Riot was like, yeah, we're done. They just stop paying for it, and they closed the studio down.
Yeah, because you keep showing me shit, but you don't make shit.
Yeah.
You don't put a period down and say sell it. Like, you guys just, yeah, we're making stuff. It's awesome. Like, who's getting paid? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, Altern, you're not wrong. He said they didn't have a basic game to release in early access. We have Mind's Eye, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
Right. I at least threw it the fuck out.
Yeah, what's worse? A game that never comes out because they just can't, they don't stop working on it, or a game that they're like, hey, we're good. Let's throw it out there and let's say, I mean, they're both bad, but, you know, it is what it is. Let me see what else. Do we have anything else? I'm not going to talk about the Battlefield 6 until we get more news. That's not a big story. Oh, Dune Awakening, right? So last week I talked about Dune Awakening. They changed the end game, Sarge. All right, they changed the end game from the last we heard. They came back fast, right? This is a live service game. We knew that from the very beginning. It says Dune Awakening is changing its end game in response to the players' complaints. Our goal is not to force PvE players to interact with the PvP system that they also may have no interest in. Okay, so it says just a few days after Dune Awakening, AMA, developers promised some changes to the end game. Here's the first creative director, Joel, as he said today, some areas in the deep desert will now be flagged as partial warfare, which is PvE areas, enabling players to explore what has to offer without fear of getting caught up in the fights they don't want to. So their vision was to have a lot of people out in the deep desert. Well, the PvEers stopped when they got to a certain point, right? And they didn't want to go to the deep desert because they were getting ganked by groups of people. Okay.
No.
So now they're like, all right, well, let's let them go out in the deep desert. And now half the deep desert basically is PvE. So the issue with the deep desert Dune Awakening PvP area were front and center during the last week's AMA. And while the Funcom made it clear that it wasn't planning to make major changes to the Ornithopters or the root of it, so as many complaints, they did commit to improving the experience overall. Part of that apparently means making the accessible to all players. He says, quote, let me start by stating that unequivocally, we want PvE players to be able to play the end game and have access to the content in the end game. Bylos wrote, today, update, our goal is to not force PvE players to interact with the PvP, but the system that also may have no interest in. He says that Funcom still believes in the core concept of the deep desert and hopes players will come to engage with it as they originally envisioned. But the reality is, he continued, is that some players are complaining about being excluded from the endgame because of extremely competitive nature of the deep desert, and so changes are coming. He says, starting soon, some of the areas deep desert will now be flagged as partial PvE, and the areas of players will also be able to explore testing stations and harvest T6 resources without the threat of conflict in many of that you want. He also says that the Landsrad control points, shipwrecks, and largest spice fields within the region of the deep desert will also be war of assassins, which is PvP flag, and the deepest parts of the deepest desert will remain and currently are high reward, high risk areas. So as someone who enjoys PvP combat sometimes, but not all the time, it seems that the reasonable compromise to me, that it also appears to be an overall reaction from the Dune Awakening fans. So there are also, of course, of a few here and there who aren't happy about the perceived softening of the deep desert, but the whole people seem happy. So
gee, this all sounds familiar.
I know.
It
that's
all
why we brought it
sounds
up.
very familiar.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you don't know the end game when they speak about end game. Okay, I was sold in the game when they said I could play all the single player stuff in PvE and not worry about the deep desert. And I was like, okay, cool. I could play the entire game in PvE. I don't have to worry about the deep desert. And I was like, I'm sold. I'll play that game and do the story, and then I'll be done. Right? Well, now I can continue on past the story. I still have plenty of story stuff to do, but now I can go into the deep desert and kind of dabble in it. And I think what he's trying to do is, I think if you play PvE and you start dabbling in the deep desert, and then you have certain things that maybe you'll take a risk and join a group or get in a guild, and then maybe proceed from there, or maybe you'll just stay on your own and just farm your own stuff. But obviously they're making big changes. They made changes with the ornithopters where people were just crushing people. So now what happens is that they're giving power to the people on the floor. They have rocket launchers, and the rocket launchers can knock them out, and then you also can't pocket your ornithopter. So basically, ornithopters to get you out the deep desert to land on certain places, but then they want you to land and have that risk of you could lose your ornithopter or whatnot, right? Yeah. So they're going to be changing stuff like that going forward.
Or you can make a camouflage thing, a net, so they can't see you from far away, but if they get closer, they can see it. Right?
Well, right now there's just people, they literally just patrol the points.
No shit. And kill people.
Just patrolling the points.
Yeah, what did we say was going to happen, bro?
Yeah.
What did we say was going to happen? It's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happened.
All right, chat. I'm going to put the Q&A. If you guys have any questions, put a Q in front of your question. We'll take a couple of questions, and we'll answer them. So, there's a couple other stories that we didn't get to, which is Chrono Odyssey. Okay, their strategy of copy paste. People are saying that a lot of people they basically just copy pasted from like New World, and I looked it up and I was like, they don't even use the same engine because one's using Unreal Engine 5 and one's using Amazon's. I forget what theirs is called.
What happened to New World? What happened to New World, bro? No one's talking about. No one's playing awesome.
New World's still around. They have updates and stuff like that. People are still playing, but it's not as big as it was. I like New World. I thought New World was actually pretty good.
I got them all confused. What were the two ones that we played? One was New World, and then Artanium.
Thrones and Liberty.
Artanium.
No, we played Throne and Liberty.
Yeah.
And then Thorn and Liberty. Throne and Liberty.
Artanium is New World. Yeah.
Artanium is New World. Yeah. They were doing New World, right, and we played New World. I like New World. I thought New World was pretty good. I like that it came to console. I don't have time for it. I'm playing Dune, right? So they only have one for one thing. But they say they copied it and accusing the devs of copying content like directly. Like the layouts and the fortresses look exactly like New World. And I was like, I'm confused. Like it's not the same engine unless Amazon's using Unreal Engine 5, but they made it their own. So it's Lumberjack. Thank you, Aku. Lumberjack. I can't read. So I'm just confused in how they did a copy 1-to-1 because it says that the people playing it, they're like, this is just straight out of New World, and you put it into this game. That game's also having major problems with optimization and whatnot. So obviously they're going to release it next week. I don't know if that's true, but
I really hope that these companies get their act together and they just start making a game and selling a game because everybody can't make an MMO. Everybody can't make a live service. You're dividing up the population. Nobody cares. They want to play the game, finish the game, and move the fuck on. And they want to be in everything. Everybody wants to hoard the money, and they can't do it. And every fucking February, we're in another layoff situation. Something's got to give here, bro. Something's got to change. All right.
Real quick, I just want to say to chat, asking a question doesn't. You don't have to like pay money. You can just ask a question. You know what I mean? Like if you want to give a super chat, you can. But if you just want to ask a question, I don't know if people don't want to ask questions because they feel like it's like a super chat question.
No,
it's just if you guys want to ask a question, just put a Q in front of your question, and we'll put it into the list. One other thing, Sarge, before we get to the questions, is Jurassic World Evolution 3 will no longer be using generative AI following a backlash. Now, this game doesn't come out until October. Okay, so the reason people saw this is because Steam has a rule that if you have AI in your game, you have to let people know that AI is in your game. Okay? So they came out and said we have AI in the game, and people were like, well, what is the AI? And they said, well, we made profile pictures for the scientists in the game, right? So like the scientist that pops up on the screen that you talk to or whatever is just AI generated. Well, people were losing their shit. And they're like, how dare you use this AI and take jobs away from people and blah, 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 right? So the backlash has been so bad that they said they're going to remove the generative AI from the actual game now. So the scientist pictures, profile pictures, I guess now are going to be hand-drawn or made by a human, okay?
Yeah.
So you think. I don't know, right? My question is, Like the game doesn't come out till October. You don't even know what this looks like if they didn't say anything, right? Because obviously there's a box that clicks. Like in YouTube, if I use any AI, I have to click a box that says no, there's no AI in this video.
Sure.
Okay, so submitting something to Steam, you just go, there's no AI in this video, right? And they're like, they saw that, and we admitted that we have profile pictures made by AI.
Yeah.
But now there's backlash. So do they say they take it out, uncheck the box, and yet still put it in because it's just a fucking profile picture? Like, how are they going to know?
Well, if they say no and someone figures it out, it's AI, they're going to get rutted out anyway.
Sure.
Right. This is what I keep telling you. They have to start laying down rules for AI. A checkbox on a fucking EULA, just to say whether or not there's AI in the game or not, just to get by, just so you can move on with playing the game, is not structure. It's not rules. You have to have rules for what's going to happen, because this shit's going to blow up, bro. It's going to be in everything. Once again, the rules are very simple. If I don't have to pay an artist to do a job and I can get it done and the work is better and I don't have to pay anybody, would I do it? And I was a company. The answer is yes. Right? It's not a question. It's not a question. If I can save money and make profit margin grow, I don't have to pay someone. I'm going to use it. They have got to get laws down, right? They've got to get laws down.
I think for certain things, there's that Mr. Beast AI thumbnail thing that they were talking about earlier.
That's the same thing
in the week,
right? They're just mad because it's him.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're mad.
They're just mad because it's him.
He came up with it before because
like somebody else would do it.
Yeah, well, there's other people that do it. That do exactly what he's doing.
He just did it better.
He just did it now because he's coming out with it. They're upset with him. Yeah. All right, let's start with the questions. It looks like there's only two people asking questions, and it's Krebsy and Altern. Thank you, Altern and Krebsy. All right, so first question says, was Dolphins kids playing the game or Dolphin just living in the past? Here's what I think, Krebsy. He's talking about Monday night we were playing Rematch, okay? And we were playing Rematch, and there's a clip. Actually, you know what?
I already watched it.
The clip is fucking hilarious.
What is he doing?
I think this is what was happening. Okay,
there's lag. It could be latency.
No, I don't think there was lag. Dolphins kid was in the room. Okay, he's a young kid. He wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
Dolphin said he wanted to play, and he played, but his kid was probably there, and he's probably being a nice dad and saying, "Yeah, go ahead and play." He wasn't paying attention because he's actually not playing the game. Okay,
his son was playing.
His son was playing, and he's just on the headset.
Got it.
Okay, so when stuff was happening, he wasn't really paying attention, and he just said, I got it. Right? And, oh shit, I have the ball. Like, all of a sudden, he realized he had the ball because his kid's just playing with the ball in the corner. 100%, I think this is what happened. I don't think Dolphin was high. I don't think Dolphin was doing it on purpose. I think Dolphin was just being a good dad, letting his kid play the game. I didn't want to admit it, right? Because I could hear him a little bit in the background. His kid's like, I got the ball, which is fine, right? But it was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious because there's a clip. Rogue passed to Luke. Luke kicked it back to me. I'm goalie. Dolphin's in the way back corner. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I got it. And I'm like, I have the fucking ball. What is he looking at? Right? So that's what I think is happening. I think that he was playing.
His son was playing. I got it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Which we haven't seen Dolphin since then.
Still funny.
So I think Dolphin's a little embarrassed because of it, but
still fun.
We'll see. Next one says, Altern says, now that the downloaded Netflix in an instant exists, how long till we see the future is cloud gaming of on your phone with the controller through XR glasses with the 50-inch virtual screen? Altern, you literally sent this to me. He sent this to me earlier. Hold on. Is it in general? You put it in general, right? There's this thing that he sent to me earlier that is just a pair of glasses. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me open a new tab. All right, so this is a screenshot of, right, the world's first support XR glasses. Okay, so this is basically, you can take this controller, which is like a backbone controller that you hook up to your phone, plug these glasses into the controller, and then now you have the 50-inch screen in your sunglasses that you're looking into AR, sort of like what they're doing there, and then you can play your games. Now, I don't know what thing they're using here because they have Spider-Man on the phone, So I don't know if they're using like GeForce Now or if they're just taking a picture of the Steam library or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, this would actually be pretty cool. This would sell more than the MetaQuest 3S if you could do this. If you could just plug your glasses in and have the controls and then see it through your sunglasses.
That's what I'm saying, man.
100% much better.
When the VR is just a thick set of sunglasses as opposed to that giant fucking thing,
right?
This shit's gonna pop off, bro.
But it has to be a good price point. 200, 250.
But you understand how this works. It doesn't
people buy regular sunglasses for that much.
People buy sunglasses for $500, $700.
I know.
Normal sunglasses.
I know.
Right? Oakley's all day long, fucking from the 90s into the 2000s, fucking mental cases. Right? If you tell me I can play video games through my fucking sunglasses, $700 is not a big deal.
I remember I bought my first pair of Oakleys when I was in high school. It cost me $120 to buy those glasses, but the only reason I bought it is because of lifetime warranty. And every time I broke one, you brought it back to the store, and they would give you another pair, right? And I was like, that's worth it, right? Because I would break them all the fucking time. Now, my sunglasses, I could buy 5 of them for less than $20, and they're like disposable. I just fucking chuck it, put another one on, like nonstop. So yeah, I think to answer your question, how long until the future is? I would say 4 to 5 years where this is more convenient.
You know what I'm interested?
This is the way.
I'm interested in seeing that when technology comes out, how long the gap is before the price jump happens. Like, because the big TVs came out and they were like thousands of dollars, and it took like 8 years for the prices to come down to a normal level. You think the gap in the price drop will be shorter?
Say it again. Say that again.
Well, in the old days, when they first came out with flat TVs and they were the bigger and bigger TVs, like they would cost thousands of dollars, right? And it didn't get down to prices that you could handle for like almost a decade, like 9 years or something. So, do you think that the gap between the initial release of something and the ridiculous price point of something and the lowering it to get into the mass market, do you think that period of time will shorten?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It already has.
Well,
right?
Well, the reason why I asked is because they have to make as much money as they can in order to support the companies. So you can't have a price drop that's that quick because you got to sell product. You got to sell those things for the higher price.
Right, but what they do is so let's say back in the day they would only have like a 36-inch, and then it would be like 5 years before they had like a 50-inch and so on. Look at the TVs now, right? Every consumer electronics show, they go from 85-inch to 95-inch to 120 inches to 200.
It's a wall.
Yeah,
wall.
There's walls now. You could pay for $10,000 for these panels that you can get as big as you want.
That you put on the wall, yeah. You put panels on the wall.
Yeah, and they're thin as like a fucking credit card.
Yeah.
So I think if televisions like Samsung and Sony come out with these types of TVs that cost, let's say, $2,000, 1 year's time, the next TV is going to be $2,000, and the TV that was $2,000 is not going to be $1,000 or going to be $800, right? It's going to come in faster and faster down because technology is constantly going up faster and faster, and they have all this back stock, and they have to get the back stock out of the fucking way to put the new stuff up there. And you're always going to have the 20% make the 80% because you're going to have a guy that pays a $10,000 television set, okay?
For sure.
But you're going to have way more people buying $200, $300 television sets, right?
Yeah, but I think it behooves them to do it that quickly because they have to make factories. Everything has to get set up. You have to be set up to make a model, and then the model has to run a certain number of units. You know what I mean? Like it seems to me that it's going to hurt them in the long run because we can't. Even though everyone wants the cool shit right away, like you can't keep up with the technology. It's moving that fast.
Right.
The panels for the wall, I think, is insane. Where like you don't even have a TV anymore; it's just the panels that sit on the wall. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, it's really cool, and they're getting cheaper and cheaper. I mean, it's like $10,000 right now.
Right, you walk into your house and it's just how big you want it. How many panels you buy is how big the TV is.
Yep.
Right. I want the wall to be the TV. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Well, you can get a projector. Projector does the same thing, but it won't be as crystal clear, even with the 4K and stuff like that. Because you have to have a
but then you could turn the wall into like a photo or the beach, and the whole wall is like a beach.
Yeah, but they're already doing that on people's floors. They're putting these panels on floor, and then they put a coating on the floor. Right, so it's above, so it's like it's underneath the layer. So they put the TV, they put a thing, and then they gloss it over. So the whole floor is like a virtual space where you could be like on the beach or like a running river. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
What the
Yeah.
fuck is happening, bro?
Altered says,
What
"Do you
happens,
think
when,
they-"
what happens when the panels go bad? You got to tear up the whole floor?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a multimillionaire. I can't tell you. Do you think they're able to turn Splitgate 2 around and make it successful? No. No, I think it is what it is. It's just there. It's not going to get exponentially higher and be, it'll just be here, and this number won't be enough, and they're going to keep it as long as they can, and they're just going to scrap it and go somewhere else. That's what's going to happen.
Well, here's my question. If Splitgate 2 is just like Call of Duty, but with with portals, then why don't people like it?
It's a good question.
Right? If it's the same exact model, if it's Call of Duty, just with portals, you could travel around, why isn't it popular?
It's because, I would assume, because it's not as fun as the other games that they're already playing, and they have more expensive microtransactions. Why?
I mean,
if I'm having fun in
you
Call
don't
of
have to
Duty,
buy
why
them.
am I playing Splitgate? If I'm having fun in
I don't
Apex
know.
Legends, why am I going to Splitgate?
I don't know. That's my question. Why do I leave one game to go play another if it's exactly the same thing?
Correct. But it's not the same. But it is the same. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, but their cool thing is the teleporters, the portals that you go through.
yeah, the portals. Yeah. The split gates. Yeah. Yeah. Next question. We have, Krebsy says, is playing Baldur's Gate 3 with Travis on the weekend a way to get a Make-A-Wish charity credit? I can't answer this. I'm not playing, so. All right, we'll just skip that one. Okay, next one. Did you enjoy your time in Real Fake Wizard? Yeah. No, I thought it was. I thought it was a good talk. It's cool. It's cool talking to someone when you watch the videos and then have a conversation. I mean, we met Kinger that way. We met Greg Owen that way. Jay Shockblast was on. Ginger Prime. I like talking to different people across the board. And he's an interesting guy. We talked a little bit before the show. He's going to come back on the show, maybe after around the end of the summer or whatnot. So, yeah, it was a good, I thought it was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully we can get more people that come on the show, because I like doing that show a lot. And if we get more guests, I might have to move it to a different day, because I still like doing Shooting the Shit with Sarge. And because I do the show, I can't do Shooting the Shit with Sarge. So we'll have to try to figure something out with that. Next question. Krebsy says, would adding VR to GTA 6 be the best way to get people into VR? It would also be like putting GTA 6 on Netflix or Game Pass to get flood of subs. I think you would have people buy VR for Grand Theft Auto 6, but I don't think you would have the masses buy it, because you would still get motion sickness. Like, motion sickness
A lot of people get motion sickness.
Yeah, a lot of people that motion sickness is not going to be helpful because they're getting a blowjob in a virtual car from a hooker in GTA 6. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, the nausea is still going to be there.
Well, it's your first time.
What do you think, Sergeant? With the VR headset?
Maybe your first time is a virtual blowjob, and that's why you're nervous.
Maybe, right?
And that's why they invented fleshlights.
So do you think it would?
I'll tell you what, though. I think the AI porn industry is going to explode, bro.
It's already exploded.
Oh, it's going to explode. I'll be honest with you.
No pun intended.
I haven't done the porn circuit in a long time, dude. I haven't done the porn circuit. I don't keep track of all the stuff anymore. So
there's fucking conventions left and right, dude.
No, I know. Well, my favorite thing is
there's a porn convention that puts CES to shame. Okay, CES is the Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah,
and there's a porn show that's much bigger than that.
So just I don't want to go off on a deep tangent here, but because they passed those laws back, and I think it was 03, it's the early O's or late O's, where the human trafficking laws that Congress passed, remember back?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So ever since then, those laws have made it illegal to be a pimp, because pimping is human trafficking under those laws, right? However, there are no shortage of pimps, and they still have the pimp awards at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And basically, if you get busted as a pimp now, if you actually get busted, it's 30 years in jail because of those new laws. And people still pimp. But now there's less and less pimps because It's getting to the point now where people just getting busted and they're just going away. There's no more in the jail and out the next day. It's you're in jail for 30 years.
Right, 30 years.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
Is there a documentary on that? I never.
I think there might be. I don't know if there's an updated one for after the laws, but it's fucking crazy.
Krebsy's had a weird one here. He says, "Do you think that CBS should go back to the house of the guy who married his AI and have him generate an AI body for his AI wife? Would the AI look like the human wife or a blonde?" I don't think. Let's be honest. I don't like to make fun of people's looks, but his wife, with the mother of his child that he has, he would definitely not make that in AI. He would make it like
completely opposite of that.
Yeah, completely like he would make it like super like anime girl or something like that. You know what I mean?
Completely
Like,
opposite of that.
Yeah, he wouldn't make that again. Especially if you're making it's weird science. You're making the perfect woman, right? That's what it would be. That's what weird science was. It's AI that you've created. You've made a synthetic person in front of you that looks gorgeous.
I mean, how close?
Great movie.
How
what a
close
great movie.
How close are we to Westworld, bro?
I think we're already there. I think
we're
there's
pretty
underground places right now
I
that
think
like
we're pretty
guys that
close
with
to
billions of
Westworld.
dollars are just like screwing robots. Yeah,
I think we're close to Westworld.
sure.
I mean, Westworld's all about super elite people with money anyway. So
That's what I'm saying.
That's who's going to go first. So
Next question is, Altern says, do you think there will be another brand Meta Quest, like a Nike Quest 3 or Disney Quest 3? I mean, he kind of said it last year when he's talking about the exercise stuff. So imagine they team up with like LA Fitness, right? Or Gold's Gym or something for the headset.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
you can slap
I mean, I
you
can see
slap
it.
a sticker on anything, bro.
Yeah.
You can slap
Yeah,
a
because
sticker on anything.
the front panel, that's an advertisement playground right there.
Right. You can do everything you want there. Right.
Yeah. So
You
just
put-
like the
put
on
some
the
googly
Xbox, they made a
eyes.
big fucking box, and you could take Velcro Trapper Keeper stuff, and
Put
you know,
some googly eyes on it.
yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah, a lot of people put the googly eyes on the thing. Yeah, so I can see that happening, like other brands. I don't know if they do like Disney Quest, but you could definitely sell the skins with that type of stuff. And if they
Oh,
team
please.
up with other brands,
Anybody can team up with anybody in that instance because the real estate on the VR goggles you could put wherever you want on them.
yeah.
I think
question.
I think they should make a VR game where you're a serial killer, as I think they should do.
I think there is one.
Is there?
I
That
think
you're,
so.
that you're the serial killer.
I think there is one where you're a serial killer in a VR. Yeah, I think so.
I think that's a little dark, but
I mean,
it gets people to play.
Alter says, would you use AI to make your thumbnails? Yes. Why wouldn't I?
Yes, but
If
he
it
wouldn't,
makes-
but he wouldn't use AI to steal somebody else's thumbnail and put his face in there.
But that's what people do already.
I'm aware.
That's
I'm
what
aware.
people do already.
I'm
Like
aware.
Mr. Beast making this is not going to make it like, oh my God, it's the first time it's happening. Like yesterday or 2 days ago when we talked about it, I literally brought it up. Within the first two scrolls, I found two thumbnails from two different people exactly the same. The only difference was the top word was just a little bit smaller. Same font, same color, same spacing,
Well,
same.
but the reason for that is because the algorithm says that gets clicked on the most, and so they copy pasta the ones that get clicked on the most, and they just use them, right? Because everybody's looking for the break, right? You're looking for a break. Everyone's looking for a break.
Well, if look, I'm an independent YouTube channel. Okay, I don't have a team. I'm my producer. I'm my writer. I'm my creator. I make my thumbnails. I make my music. I do
But
everything.
But the good news is you don't lay anybody off.
Right. If I lay it off, we're done. Right. You know what? I won't take a salary. Okay. So if I use AI,
Joke.
it's not like I'm not giving someone a job. I got no money to pay the fucking person anyway.
That's correct.
So what do you want me to do? Hey, you want to do it for free?
Well, you could always hire an illegal, bro.
That's
That seems to be going really well for a lot of people who are advertising on national television. How they had to close their restaurant because they have no more employees. And what I want to know is how come that person doesn't go to jail immediately for having
They should.
all illegals in their restaurant?
yeah. If they hired the illegal, they knew they were taking advantage of the person.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
why I laugh every day, dude. I'm watching.
They weren't trying to get a tax break, right? They were trying to save fucking money. They're like, I'll pay you $2.50.
That people
like,
are
oh, thank you, sir.
announcing
Thank
it.
you so much.
They're announcing it live on television that they're basically did illegal. Like, I don't.
Yeah. Great.
What's happening, bro?
Next question is from Eric. He says, do you really think that all the Xbox brand devices are really going to move any needles for them, like the ROG handheld, brand VR, and what I can also assume the next console thing they put out? I don't think I don't think it's going to move hardware. I don't think that's their plan to move hardware. I think that's why they're teaming up with people, because they're not putting the money out there to make the research and development to make these products. So I think that the ROG Ally handheld, which before they announced it, I said I don't see them making their own handheld. I think they team up with someone, and voila, there it is. That's the testing ground. If it sells well, then they might go in harder into their own handheld. But it's stupid to make that stuff. Now, if the price point is right on the ROG Ally, if that white version's around $450 to $500, the same price as the Nintendo Switch, I think it sells a couple more units. Like, it'll be a popular unit to sell. I don't think the black ROG Ally X sells that many. It'll go to the people that like buy the PlayStation Pro, the high end people.
Your tech people get it.
Yeah, they'll get that. As far as the headset, I think the VR headset is stupid because, one, it's not a VR headset. It's not marketed as a VR headset. It's marketed on their own website as a large screen television, basically, okay? And it can do the MetaQuest stuff, so you're just buying a MetaQuest. Well, they're not buying a MetaQuest now, right? You could buy a MetaQuest right now for $299, and if you already have an Xbox or already have a PlayStation, you can use that controller, sync it up with your headset, and you can play games right now on a $299 device. So you're just buying the console because it's black and you want it to be Xbox. You're buying the controller because you don't have a controller, so it means you don't have a console right now, okay? So you don't have to buy it. If you have a console, you don't have to buy it. You can just use your controller you already have, and you get 3 months of Game Pass, right? Microsoft doesn't care about selling hardware. They care about getting you into their ecosystem. The ecosystem is you get Game Pass for the 3 months that you're on it, and then all of a sudden now you purchase a game. Well, if you purchase a game and you stop paying for Game Pass, well, what are you playing on? You got to play that game somewhere. So you're either going to play that game on Game Pass again, or you're going to play it on your Samsung TV, or you're going to play it on your MetaQuest S headset, or you're going to play it on your cell phone. It's sunk cost fallacy. The more they can get you in, you're spending money. And if you want to leave, sure, they got your money. If you want to come back, they get your money. It's no skin off their back if you stop playing, because someone else will play. There's always going to be a rotating door of it, right? The subway's not filled all the time. The subway's got constantly people going in and out of the subway car, and it's busy all day. That's basically the way I look at these services, right? People leave, people come back. People leave, people come back. So that's the way I look at it. What do you think, Sarge, about these? Do you think there's going to move any stuff?
No, I don't. I still believe that they only tried the ROG Ally because they were trying to get into the Nintendo market because of that mobile market, right? But I think with all the advantages of using any other device, your phone, your tablet, playing video games anywhere, I think they're just they have let's put it this way, they have a certain amount of money in each of their divisions to do what they want with and figure out some things out, right? They have to do new ideas, they have to try stuff, right? People need jobs. People even inside people at Microsoft that come up with these ideas, they need, why are you here? Like, right. If we're not making any hardware, think of it this way. If we're not making any hardware, what's this whole division doing? What are you guys doing? Like, what are we paying you guys for?
Collecting a check.
Right, you guys are collecting a check. We're not selling consoles. We're not selling hardware. We're not selling handhelds. What are we doing? Oh, wow, that's a great idea. You have a great idea? Let me hear it. Oh, we're going to make a handheld that's like the Switch that could play PC games. And okay, cool. We'll see what that does, right?
I'm telling you, if the price point's right, that thing's going to sell really well because of the convenience of getting all your stuff on one device.
Possible.
If I buy a Switch 2 right now, I can only get for $450, right? I buy one game, or I get the bundle and I have one game, and maybe I buy another one, and I'm at $580, right? If I buy a ROG Ally X or S, whatever the hell they're selling it for, let's say it is $500 or $700, I buy that. I still have all my library that I already have on Steam. My whole library that I have on Battle.net. My whole library. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's connecting all these libraries on one device. So even if I just buy the device, I don't have to buy any other game. I can play the games I already own on that device, which makes it a much more sellable thing than buying Switch and then rebuying the games or only having a certain amount of games to play.
Well, that's what I mean. They're looking to get into the portable market with your own products. Right, you're looking for that portable screen.
Right,
that's basically what it is.
Yeah,
right. It's not an actual. It's going to change gaming. you're still playing your games on your PC. So
Correct. Yeah. Next question. Krebsy says, and Krebsy, I just want to make sure, because you like to give me shit, I'm going to give you shit. You say I can't read, but apparently you can't type because obviously you don't mean Marathon. Obviously you mean Borderlands 4, correct? Because what you're saying here is you're making a joke of the snipers and the mini-map. So I'm assuming you're talking about Borderlands 4. Am I wrong here? Or am I correct?
I mean, buffing snipers. I think he just said the guns didn't feel right.
No,
he
you
meant
mean Marathon? Beyond buffing snipers
Is there anything worse you could say
and
about
adding a mini-map?
Marathon? Beyond.
I don't remember this being a problem in Marathon. Is that those two problems? Because I remember the compass and the snipers. Those are the two negative things that we were talking about for battle.
The only
Borderlands.
things- the
the
only
only two
things
things
were-
about Borderlands 4.
Those are wrong. That was it.
Yeah, is the sniper rifles is too weak, and that there's the compass. We already know about Borderlands 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for this because I didn't know Marathon
The compass.
had sniper problems and minimap problems. So my apologies. I thought you were talking about Borderlands 4.
Yeah, but Marathon's canceled, right?
No, delayed. Yeah, it's delayed until
Indefinitely.
until next March, maybe.
Do you guys know what the definition of indefinitely is?
I do.
Okay,
but
so
I don't think they
why.
do.
Yeah, that's why.
But
I
they
think it's
also
funny.
try to pass someone else's artwork for their own. So
Yeah. Right. I got it.
it is what it is. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one. Real quick, I see Kinger, you're not asking a question, but I see what you're saying about Mr. Beast here. It says yes, people are mad at Mr. Beast because his program copies other people's thumbnails, and at a nauseam of proudly stated people could just swap their faces on it and ripping off their people. I mean,
It is. It's true.
he's just making it more convenient, and there is already apps that do this, right?
Right. He's just
I mean,
making it easier.
I can do it super fast on Canva, right? Real simple. I showed it live on stream how fast I can do one, right? Like yesterday, they sent me a picture, right? Altern sent me a picture of an AI of a guy running in the background of Dune. And he said, "Hey, this is your next thumbnail for here. Let me open this up. Open this. Open that in a new tab. Okay, he gave me this picture. Where is it? The hell is it? Did I overshoot it? I don't know where it is, but basically, all I did here, I'll show you what I did. So, let me bring this up.
What is this?
So,
now?
he sent me a picture. There's someone else's face back here. Okay.
Oh, I got it.
And real quick, all I did was take my head, slap it over the thing, and this is someone else's body, and I'm running away from the sandworm. Okay. And then I turned it around where I flipped it and started running away, put Dune Awakening, continuing my journey. Right.
Okay.
Like this literally took me, I don't know, less than a minute.
Okay.
Right. So typing in to his program, which there are other programs already out there like this. Okay. And there's people stealing people's thumbnails
All the time.
all the time. Right now, you could go on YouTube, scroll down, and see two thumbnails exactly the same from completely two different people because it works. That's what it is. I think a lot of people are pissed off at him because he
made
did
it
it
easier.
and he's already rich and famous, right? If somebody else came up with this, they'd be like, this is fucking genius. Like if El Gato came up with it, people are like, oh, I love it, right? Like they would take it and go, oh, this made my job so much easier as a streamer. But because Mr. Beast is doing it, they're like, oh, this fucker. What? He's making so much money off of these blind assholes out there that he's healing, right? But now he's making thumbnails much easier for people. What a selfish prick, just making money. I mean, it's because he has money and he could do it. He made the program and he made it better, made it faster.
That's what people do.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Right? Like, see, people are not mad at AI, but now they're mad at AI because now it's taking jobs away from them. See, the fire across the street's not bothering me, but now the fire's in my yard, and now it's a problem, right? And that's what I don't like about when people.
And that's how the monkeys react. That's how it works.
Yeah, I just feel like, look, I get it, right? If you're against AI to make it life easier for people that are doing thumbnails and YouTube, Well, then you also have to be mad at the people that invented the cell phone to make your life much more easier and enjoyable because you don't have to like open up a dictionary and look at the pages to find a definition of something, right? You know what I mean? Like they made your life easier, but now they're taking other people's jobs away.
Every fucking 3 months, everyone's jobs and life gets easier, and people are still complaining about shit that they have to do. Nobody has to do dick anymore, bro. Like literally do nothing and you get paid. Like, and there's people are still complaining. It's bizarro world at this point.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like again this thumbnail. I wish I could find
who'd you steal it from, bro.
Altern made the artwork in AI. Here actually AI generated. There it is. Hold on, let me get it for you. Where the fuck is my program here? Starfield poll super AI. Where's the AI clip?
Did you make your face like that? Did you make your face like that? You took a picture?
That was just already. I already have a picture like that because I use the same pictures. I have like 20, 25 pictures of me in different shirts and making me different faces and stuff like that, and that's what I use.
Oh, you should have started a riot by putting on the same shirt all the time and have people rag on you for it.
Oh, here it is. Right. So here's the. This is the real picture, right? That's the picture that he made. He said, "Here's your Dune picture.
That dude looks fake.
Slap your face on it." And I said, "Okay, boom." Slap my face on it, right? Look, there it is. That's all I did. Change the color a little bit.
That guy's face looks fake, bro.
Zoomed in a little bit, right?
The argument for reality is going to be amazing when we start fighting over what's real and not real.
Yeah.
And the definition of real.
Like you got this, you got this, you got this, right? Within seconds, I did this. Right, I didn't prompt anything,
and someone just lost 30 grand.
Right, this I just stole a job from someone off Fiverr. Okay,
yeah,
because of it, right?
Yep.
That's a good picture, right? Boom. Super hard. There you go. Right. Mr. Beast, he's the devil. I didn't even use his program. I used Canva. It literally took me less than a minute to do this.
Hey, listen, man. People gotta work, man. People gotta work.
Check general. All right.
How the hell am I going all the way down? 46. What's happening right now?
Yeah, we've gone long tonight. Hold on. They told me to check general.
Why? What are they doing now?
General. What is this? Is that River City Ransom that you guys put in there? What is that? Bigfoot and Yeti get drafted to World War III. All right, I'm in. Can I hear sound? How come I don't have sound? There's no sound. I got no sound, but just say he's jumping out of a plane. He's in World War III. I'll have to watch that later.
I hope
there's no sound on my end either.
I hope his sniper rifle got buffed.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm not mad at Mr. Beast because look, people, if it was not him, someone else is going to do it, right?
Right.
Would it be
It'll be somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else will do it. It's not like it's going to stop. Like if Mr. Beast didn't do it, like no one would have come up with it. Like there's so many people that do it right now. Like you could make thumbnails in other. Like, you can make a thumbnail in Gronk. You can make a thumbnail in ChatGPT. You can make a thumbnail. You can literally take someone else's thumbnail, throw it into ChatGPT, and if you train it enough and say, take my face, put it on this person, and it does the same thing. That's all he did. He just made it more convenient. People love convenience. So
that's all they love. They don't like hard work. They like convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I show you how many templates I have, okay, and I've put this is 2 years worth of stuff that I've done. Okay, if someone wants to copy my thumbnail, I mean, go ahead. I don't care, right? Oh, what happened? Add page. Okay, like look, I have thumbnails for every single thing. You playing Star Wars? I go back in, change the Star Wars one. Oh, I'm playing Roadcraft. There it is. Change the Roadcraft one. Change the episode. Change the thing. Play a new game. I have all of my stuff ready to go. right?
Oh, look, the
So
41% is there. Who'd you steal that
that's-
from,
I typed in 41%.
That's a joke.
That's what I did. I just took 41%.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I had AI. I need you to come up with a logo for 41%. I stole someone else's 41% off of their sale sign and then brought it into my program and then changed the font to make it look exactly
what
the same.
moron would put 41% off on any sign? That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sounds ridiculous.
Crabtree says adapt or die. The advancement of technology doesn't stop for anyone. Exactly. Right? I think people are pissed off that they didn't come up with the idea before he did. But they also don't have the bank account that he does. They're like, hey, what can we do for this? What about if we made thumbnails easier? Right? And here's the funny part. Everyone stole Mr. Beast's thumbnails. They did. They would just take him and put him in their thumbnails just so they got more clicks. Okay?
Yeah.
So now the guy that everyone stole their thumbnails from is now stealing everyone else's thumbnails. We've come full circle.
He's letting you know how to steal thumbnails.
Yeah, he's like,
as the joke.
Yeah, everyone can be. Everyone can steal thumbnails now. So,
Right.
All right. That's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 446 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out. You can always watch us on the past broadcast right here on 30NSG, or you can go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and we appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from